Debo ProMaster's Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
Happy Thursday. You've almost made it. My mom texted me this morning thinking it was Friday. That's how she did? That's how she gloats that she's retired. It's like, I don't know what day it is. Great. Good for you, Mom. Congrats.
Isn't that nice? My mom's retired too and also feels the same way because she just called me.
Enjoy your retirement community that you get to do fun activities. Some of us have to work, Mom.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. We actually are at work.
Thanks for the free childcare, though. Really appreciate that.
Oh, that's nice.
She bails us out picking my son up from school sometimes.
Woo! That goes underrated a lot.
Shout out, moms. And shout out you for listening to the Matt and Kayla Show. We got a busy show in store for you today. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Corey Talaba of No Ceilings NBA, one of their amazing draft experts over there. He will join us to talk, of course, about the NBA draft. We'll talk about the top of the draft, of course, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, Cam Boozer. But we'll go through some of the maybe sleepers in the draft, and one of them in particular has caught Kayla Anderson's attention. We will share with you who that is coming up actually in the very next segment. Also, at 1 o'clock today, right after Kayla's 2-minute drill, Alexander Pavlovich, who covers the San Francisco Giants, he will join us to preview the Giants season. Also talk about Logan Webb pitching tomorrow in the World Baseball Classic, the opener of the World Baseball Classic. We're going to talk a little bit of the Baseball Classic, too, today at 11:30, Kayla, because I think USA in general, this country, the baseball fans should care more about the World Baseball Classic or put more into it, because other countries clearly are, number one. And number two, I have a stat for you, a number that just goes to show that USA they can't even claim their top three, at least in the World Baseball Classic standings-wise. They can't even claim their top three in terms of the best country in the world for baseball now. So we'll talk about the World Baseball Classic coming up a little bit as well. We're going to talk a lot about Maxime Reynaud today during lunch break with a little Sacramento Kings talk. Lots to get into on this show, and we appreciate you joining us here on this Thursday. But I'm not going to lie to you, Kayla, Kyle, I'm thrown off today. And the reason why...
Reddit?
No. The reason why is because my sister-in-law had her 5-month-old stay over at our house last night.
Oh, boy.
Because my sister-in-law is... she's at a work thing, and my brother-in-law works early in the morning. So he could not drop off their 5-month-old daughter before having to leave for work.
Oh, wow.
So we decided to help out. It was, a firm reminder that, I think we're good with one. And also, this was people remember and think fondly back to when you talk to parents, the baby stage, I wish I could go back, stuff like that. And there's so much about it that's wonderful. It was fun to play with her last night. It was fun to have her over. My son loves having her over. Yeah, when we were trying to get her to go to bed at 10 p.m. and she wasn't having it, and then when she woke up at 3 a.m. and stayed up till 5. Yeah.
Bro, you've had 2 really hard, long nights.
8 p.m. tip and 5-month-old.
Yeah.
Back-to-back nights. I'll take the 5-month-old over the 8 o'clock
tip.
Oh,
you will?
I'm not going to lie to you. Those 8 o'clock tips are brutal. They're brutal. And thankfully, there isn't one tonight. The Kings take on the New Orleans Pelicans tonight inside the Golden One Center. And it's a 7 o'clock tip. Hooray!
All right.
Normal
Let's
time.
go.
Matt gets to go to bed at midnight.
People in New Orleans can actually watch the game,
It's
maybe,
true.
if they want to.
If they're interested.
I don't know if they will be. This is one of those games where finally 2 of the worst teams in the league are playing each other. And there's another game like that happening tonight. The Utah Jazz are taking on the Washington Wizards tonight. That means the combined losing streak of 44 games for the 10 worst teams in the league will be snapped tonight, guaranteed.
All right.
Hooray!
That's what we have to look forward to.
There you go. No more tanking problem,
Stat
NBA.
of the day.
No one cares anymore. But what's funny is you look at that losing streak, and the Sacramento Kings are responsible for 2 of those 44 straight losses. Mm-hmm. I know the Kings just went on a really, 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 really long losing streak. What was it, 15, 16 games not too long ago? But it just goes to show, we've talked a lot this week about the moral versus the immoral tank. The immoral tank is coming. It has to be, because
It's only a matter of time.
Because, the Brooklyn Nets take on the Miami Heat tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The Nets are going to lose that game. They're going to do everything in their power to lose that game. If the Kings find a way to win tonight at home against the New Orleans Pelicans, that means the Brooklyn Nets would move to, I believe, a game back of the Sacramento Kings in the Tankathon standings.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kings still have to play the Brooklyn Nets twice. I'm not saying just embrace the dark side and embrace the immoral tank, but the Sacramento Kings might not have any choice coming up with how bad these teams are at the bottom. And now they're really, the Hornets' nest is about to really start, because they're going to all start playing each other. We're in for some bad basketball games over the next couple of weeks.
I already have found it very hard to get through games, obviously, towards the end of this season.
Yep.
Now I'm really wondering, how are they going to get worse?
Oh.
How are they going to put this script out there and find a way to elegantly tank even more than, they already have more so organically, but now it's going to be now we're starting to put in the artificial flavoring.
Yeah.
Now we got to get icky, because like you just said, you can't really afford not to, but there's still people that are loving the fact that they're finally home and they want to see wins at home.
Elegance has already flown out the window.
I was trying to paint a nicer picture.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, elegance has flown out the window, to say the absolute least. Are you talking about the Jason Tatum stuff? Is that your mini breaking news? Yeah. Shams reported 10 minutes ago, Jason Tatum will play this season.
Right.
Could make his debut on Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point. Good for Jason Tatum coming back. The Boston Celtics are, of course, deeply in the playoff mix in the Eastern Conference. I don't know what version of Jason Tatum the Celtics are going to get back. He can afford to take his time, because in reality, that's not even his team anymore. Or at least it isn't right now. It's Jaylen Brown's team.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum has to be Robin for the first time in his career, maybe there in Boston this season, and he has the best excuse in the world to be Robin, which is, I'm coming back from a pretty catastrophic injury. I'm just going to take it easy and play a support
Achilles,
role.
right?
So ruptured Achilles, yes.
Yep.
Ruptured Achilles tendon. So it'll be, I'm happy to see him back. I always root for players to get back to what they were.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of, I have no...
It doesn't make the league better to not have players like that in, the league and playing.
Right. And if Tatum played for the Lakers or played for the Warriors, I'd feel the exact same way. You want to see the players that suffer these injuries be able to come back and have that moment where you see on their face the freedom, the trust, the faith, the confidence again of I can play like I once did and don't have to worry about that. Because I can't even imagine the mental gymnastics you have to go through to.
Well, Klay Thompson shared in description about the mental side.
Can I take that jab step? Can I make this jump stop? Can I do this, what was once a second nature play that could have ended my career?
Sure.
Can I do this again, or will I feel that pain again? I can't even imagine the psychological aspect of that too. So
Matt, this is where the NBA and guys who deal with it as an athlete in the NBA, it's so much more different because we've seen it with certain guys in the NFL, like an Aaron Rodgers, but that's still a big thing to come back and but it's not even close to the level of what NBA players are doing when they're on their feet and running up and down the court and jumping. So it's much more different.
The Brooklyn Nets are the team that I'm scared of the most if I'm talking about the team to hunt the Kings down in the Tankathon standings. The Indiana Pacers technically are closer to the Kings, a game and a half back, and they have yet to play the Kings in Sacramento. That game's actually coming up in a few days. But the Brooklyn Nets, they blatantly are trying to lose games, of course. And
I forget they're in the league.
They have yet to play the Sacramento Kings, so there's going to be 2 games right there. They play Miami again tonight after losing to Miami 124-98 on Tuesday. And then here are their next opponents. You ready for this? This is the Nets. This is the Brooklyn Nets schedule.
Okay.
After they play and lose to the Miami Heat tonight, at Detroit, versus Memphis, versus Detroit, at Atlanta, at Philadelphia, versus Portland, versus OKC, versus New York, at Sacramento, at Portland, at Golden State, at Los Angeles, versus Sacramento, versus Charlotte.
Yeah, they're
losing a ton of these games.
It's a lot harder schedule.
Hilariously, the most winnable games in that mix might be against Sacramento, and those are the games they want to lose the most.
Well, sure, because they're going head to head.
So Brooklyn might not win again, and they might like it.
I think what will probably happen, I don't think Sacramento is going to win both those games. I hope not. I think splitting is going to be what's going to happen with that, which is not the greatest outcome. But it's not worse than both of them or both those games losing. I just don't see them losing or winning both. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm confusing myself.
I would hope they don't.
Because one's on the road.
If the Kings were to win both and then both teams go 500 for the rest of the way, then the Kings and Nets would tie for number 1.
Which is fine.
Brooklyn, I don't know how the Tankathon tiebreaker works, but I assume if the Kings beat Brooklyn twice, they probably lose the tiebreaker in terms of Tankathon. But I don't know. It might be a coin flip. I don't know. Regardless, lose to the Brooklyn Nets. Just find a way to lose to the Brooklyn Nets, who are on the absolute.
I don't know what this is going to look like.
The warpath of suck. I don't know.
What is this lineup? What is the game? Are you even talking about this? That's what's so odd about these situations is if you're Doug Christie, how do you go about your business now?
You're not supposed to.
No, I know.
None of those players care.
Right.
Doug Christie.
But what's Doug thinking?
I think Doug Christie doesn't care either. I think Doug Christie probably has the approach of I've got to win basketball games or I've got to just do my best.
So odd.
But everybody outside, everybody above does care. Scott Perry, and I would hope that Scott Perry would never say this publicly, but I would hope if I was standing next to Scott and having a private conversation, he'd go, we don't want to win those games because there's nothing valuable to winning those games.
Does he just whisper that in Doug's ear? Hey, by the way, just keep in mind, we don't want to win these games.
You have... You
know what I'm saying? It's just an awkward, weird situation to be in.
In certain teams, certain programs, look at the Utah Jazz. Will Hardy is being told directly by the front office, tank,
and he's been
lose.
vocal about it.
And he's not happy about it, but he's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know if a mandate has to come from Scott Perry and the Kings front office or if there's just a blatant understanding of this is where we're at and this is what we're trying to do.
Right.
Let's put it this way. If you were to tell me, Matt, nobody in the Kings organization is actually talking about this, I would call you a liar. There's no way. Mm-hmm. There's no way, given the way this season is. And it's not just because of the situation of the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are looking at the other 9 teams in the bottom 10 who are all on losing streaks and are feeling the same thing that we're feeling. Like,
Sure.
they're all coming after us because nobody wants to be in the middle. The middle's terrible. The middle's the worst place to be. And it's funny, the NBA's talked so much this year. We've done so much blabbing over the last month about tanking this and tanking that. In reality, what the NBA should address and fix the most is the middle. Why does the middle matter? Make the middle anything but no man's land to so many of these teams. And the middle is where the Sacramento Kings have lived for far too many seasons, far too many years. And now the year that they're finally saying, fine, we'll be at the bottom, so does everybody else, apparently. I'm not looking forward to some of the basketball we're going to watch.
I'm not either. It's already been rough, but yeah, could get worse.
When again, the Kings are in action tonight, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. What's good about that is, at least in terms of watchable, the Pelicans have no reason to lose games.
Oh.
They don't have their draft pick, so they're very much invested in getting this win tonight.
And Zion's been healthy, right?
Zion's been healthy. Zion's been playing. And the Pelicans in general, as we know very well from a handful of years ago when the Kings lost to them 6 freaking times in the same year, the Pelicans are a matchup nightmare for the Sacramento Kings because of how long they are and how athletic they are, which is everything the Kings want to be, but just have never really been able to do so. With no Keegan Murray and no DeAndre Hunter, Nick Clifford is in for a rough night, methinks.
It could be a long one, like you said, for sure.
It could be like, and Nick, he's going to have opportunity. And if this is one of those nights where if Neek plays well tonight, I'm going to take a lot of positivity from that. If Neek plays well against the lineups that he's going to be facing, the athleticism, the perimeter defense that he's going to be facing from the New Orleans Pelicans, that's something that you can walk away from the Golden One Center tonight going, okay, I actually feel really good about the 24th pick.
What way do you mean? Like, what do you want to see him? Like, you mean play well just on both the defensive, offensive side? Do you want him just to, like, I'm interested in playing well from Neek because it's been in different aspects of his game that we've said that at times.
I mean, it's continuing to be two things. One, impactful in some capacity because he's done a really good job of impacting the game in multiple ways. Defensively, he's racked up the steals as of late.
That's been a thing.
Good rebounder. The assists have been better. But for me, it's the confidence. It's the aggressiveness.
Just what you see and how,
The way we saw him play in L.A. is we didn't see him play really at all until maybe a little bit in the fourth quarter the other night against Phoenix. I want to see that level of confidence against New Orleans tonight. And it's going to be tough because New Orleans has the Trey Murphys, the Herb Joneses, these guys that defensively will give you problems. And how does Neek handle those problems? How does he handle trying to dribble past a taller defender who's very laterally quick and can stay in front of you? How do you handle that? Are you passive? Are you aggressive? The one thing that I saw in that Laker game in particular, and we talked about it on Monday, he moved with a fluidity and a confidence and a freedom to him. And against Phoenix on Tuesday, I felt that the stiffness
he
was
went back in his shell.
He went back to I'm thinking instead of playing. I want to see Neek play tonight.
I wonder why, though, like, it's kind of off on for him in terms of, like, and again, I mean, you play like that against the Lakers, and then you see the change. I don't know. I'm just still trying to figure out, like, how he is in his head. And I know he's still growing as a player, but I feel like he's been out there enough at this point to maybe figure that part out.
I want to be careful here because I don't want to make it say it's about how the veterans are playing because it's not. That opens the door to, well, it's Russell Westbrook's fault or it's DeMar DeRozan's fault that Neek isn't playing well because they're taking all the shots. That's not what I mean. But you can see when Neek is playing for himself versus when he's playing to try and be in the right spot for Russ or be in the right spot for DeMar or get DeMar or Russ the ball or whatever or space the floor so that they have the room to work. That's the disconnect for me. And that speaks to not specifically a Neek Clifford thing. That's a roster thing, right? The entire season, we've been talking about your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. And it was even worse when it was Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine and Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan. Because it was just like you have 4 of these guys out there that are all capable of doing good things with the basketball. So your turn, DeMar.
Sure.
Your turn, Russ.
I get what you're saying with that.
And that your turn, my turn, it's not as bad now.
Yeah.
But there very much is that what I see with Neek. Max has done a really, really good job this season of recognizing my turn can be all the time. But Neek, I still get the feeling is just like, when is it my turn? When do I push? When do I go for it? I'm just not seeing that consistently.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And did you see Scooter in here? He had a question for you. You can join us in the YouTube chat if you want and join the conversation. He says, I've asked the question before, never really got an answer. Do you think Neek is pulling his shot halfway through? It looks like he's slowing down his shot halfway through.
You know what's funny about that, Scooter, and great question. Brendan Nunez and I were talking about this at the game against the Suns.
Uh-huh.
Neek's shot when he's wide open versus Neek's shot when he's contested is completely different.
Okay.
And I think naturally you go, well, yeah, you have to speed up your shot a little bit more when you're contested because you don't want it to get blocked. But how many times, like, it's almost a bad thing in the NBA when you see a guy have a wide open three and they take a dribble and collect themselves and shoot. That's almost worse because even if you're, it's a wide open jumper. It's basically like you're playing pickup at your house with nobody defending you. There's that side of it. The other side is you've disrupted your own rhythm completely. Mm-hmm. You didn't catch and shoot. You're now just, I'm going to take a dribble. I'm going to wait. I'm going to line it up. And it feels like 99%, I know this isn't accurate, but it feels like 99% of the time that shot misses. If you catch it, situate, straighten up, take a dribble, fire, clank. It just feels that way for every team, not just the Sacramento Kings. Yes.
Yeah.
You're almost too wide open.
I agree.
You'll hear that term. You're too wide open.
Yeah.
But Brendan and I were talking about the exact same thing. Neek had a wide open three in the first half against Phoenix, and he caught it, and his shot was just slow. You could tell he was like, mechanics follow through, missed it.
Yes.
Versus, again, this just speaks to the rhythm.
Yeah.
When,
you're right.
When
Ball
Neek has been playing his best, dribble, step back, fluid, motion, bucket.
Yeah.
Like, when he shot his best has typically been when he's, again, just reacting and not thinking and playing in rhythm.
You're not wrong.
So it's a good observation by Scooter. I haven't noticed it in every single shot. Maybe like Scooter's talking about, I'll keep an eye out for it tonight. Mm-hmm. But definitely when Neek has time to think, he takes that time. And Doug Christie doesn't want that. No. Whether you're wide open or there's 0.5 seconds left on the shot clock, react the same way.
Yeah.
Let it fly. Play in rhythm. And I think there's part of it which is Neek understanding that NBA rhythm with this roster. And the other part of it is Neek is now playing in his, I don't know how many games he's missed or how many games he's played in, but the Sacramento Kings are playing game, what is this, 56 tonight or something like that? Game 56, game 57, or 66. I'm sorry, 66 tonight. So we got a lot. Yeah, I was counting the wrong things.
But go ahead.
Either way, like you're deep into your rookie season, which is like 2 times the college season at this point. So I know Neek is probably tired.
But you said that about the rhythm, and I think that's an interesting point because that's what's been so inconsistent. Like the ball movement on this team. Like it sometimes you see it flow, sometimes it's sticky. Mm-hmm. Most of the times it's more sticky when we see these veterans, DeMar, Westbrook, out there together with. Then when that's not the case, maybe we see a little bit more of that. And that does not make him have to think when you have that, like you said, rhythm, which you would want to see more anyway. But we don't see that at all for the Kings for the most part.
We got to see that more tonight. I want to see that more tonight. The Kings lost to the Pelicans in New Orleans. This was right before the All-Star break. This was a game that, it was destruction. 120-94, the final score. And if I remember correctly, the game wasn't that close. Like, it probably was. It got uglier than that, and the Kings managed to fight their way back a little bit. Neek Clifford in that game played 37 minutes, had 10 points, 4 of 16 from the field. So he shot the ball 16 times. Also had 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal. Just be aggressive. Neek.
Yep.
And for the same thing for Max. Max continue to be aggressive, continue to attack. Max has been playing really, really good over this last 10-game stretch. Again, we're going to talk about Max a little bit later in the show. He's playing at a pace that we haven't seen in over this 10-game stretch that we actually haven't seen in years since a number 1 overall pick did what he's doing.
Really impressive.
So we'll share that with you a little bit later on because we joked yesterday, but it might be true going back to like the moral versus immoral tank conversation. Max in terms of wins and losses, might be the most impactful player on the Kings consistently right now. And it seems so counterproductive to say the time that's designated in the season to focus on the development of the young guys. Hey, maybe you need to hold one of the young guys back a little bit because he's almost too good. Like, that to me is why Malik Monk isn't playing very much. Mm-hmm. It's not because Malik is on the outs in Sacramento, even though I do feel that he is. I think the Kings know that when Malik Monk plays, typically good things are happening. And so they're not playing him as much.
Right. Well, and the theme has been, since they decided to change over to this theme for the most part, is that we want to see the young guys play. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give them as many minutes as we can. And to Doug Christie's credit, because at times things have been inconsistent, the messaging was that. And for the most part, that has been the messaging. And I feel like he's done a good job of sticking to that. But you also have to balance, like, not winning games. You know, but you want to and got to see these younger guys continue. Even if Max is doing what he's doing, I still want to see Max out there.
We are just getting started here on Matt and Kayla on this Thursday jam-packed show for you. But coming up next, there is a new draft prospect that has caught Kayla Anderson's eye, potentially someone to monitor if the Kings were to fall out of the top 3 or top 4 in the draft lottery standings. We'll share with you who that name is. Plus, coming up later in the hour, what is the most prestigious title or championship in all of professional sports? We're talking around the world. We'll discuss that and more. It's coming up on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
PRG Custom Golf Accessories was founded in Northern Ireland, and now that old-world craftsmanship is here in Northern California. See for yourself at PRG-golf.com. The top brand in custom golf accessories for more than 70 of the top 100 golf courses in the world. At PRG-golf.com, you'll learn how to submit original designs for ball marks, divot tools, head covers, and more. The official head cover company for the Ryder Cup teams. PRG, from Northern Ireland to Northern California. It's PRG-golf.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. King's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. And there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
We got the YouTube comment section, the text line, trying to guess
who
the draft prospect is that Kayla Anderson is now keeping an eye on, potentially for the Sacramento Kings. Well, I can tell you who it's not. It's not Kingston Flemings.
No.
Although Kingston Flemings had a good game
last
night. The Houston Cougars beating the Baylor Bears at home last night, 77-64. Kingston Flemings, 21 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Also had 7 assists, a couple of steals, even a block shot for the 6'3" point guard. He's been widely considered the best point guard in the draft, or at least in this draft class, he's looked at as the point guard that has the highest ceiling or with the most star potential. But Kayla, you might not agree with that because there's another point guard that's out there that's playing really, really well right now, been playing really, really well all season, that you now think should be on the Kings and any team's radar if they're looking to go PG.
That's right, because there is a chance, there's always a chance that the Kings might not get their top 2, heck, 3 choices, maybe 4. But if they are looking to go point guard at that spot, if they do drop, I absolutely like Kingston Flemings. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a bad pick.
No.
But I don't think it's fair for us to also completely ignore, since we're getting into the thick of draft season here soon, the fact there's another point guard on the board by the name of Darius Acuff that is playing for Arkansas, by the way, that is 18 years old, that is not getting as many reviews and is not talked about as much as Kingston Flemings. Part of the reason, guys, why I don't think he is A, he's in the Southeastern Conference. It's kind of far away. Like, we don't hear as much about things going on down there, but specifically also because he's been dealing with a little bit of a nagging ankle injury for a good chunk of games. And I think for the most part, these other guys have been stealing the spotlight. But he seems to be 100% now. And by the way, he played through those games. He did not sit on the bench, folks. He played through the ankle issues and still was pretty decent. Before I get to Sean Miller in a second, because this to me meant a lot when I saw this morning, and I'll explain why. These are the numbers for Darius Acuff this season. By the way, about the same size as Kingston Flemings, although, Matt, I think he looks a little more built on the court.
He's officially listed as an inch shorter.
I know.
But I don't know if I buy that.
I don't know if I buy it.
We'll see what the combine comes around.
Right. So that's interesting, but about the same size. He's averaging 23 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, and about 6.4 assists, which is a little bit more than Flemings. But the guy is really a dynamic playmaker in a way if you really watch some of the film, and especially if you watch last night's game. But when I heard this from Texas head coach Sean Miller after last night's game, last night's whooping of Texas, by the way, I stopped in my tracks. So here it is.
Yeah, quick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Quick setup for this too.
Yeah.
Because I think you mentioned it, but just for those that don't understand, Darius Acuff plays for Arkansas, not Texas.
Yeah.
This is the opposing team's coach talking about him.
In my time, and I'll just go 34 years, I've never seen a point guard better. And when people talk about, who's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, or who's the best player in the conference. I mean, just for a perspective, and I think our conference is great, he averages 25 points a game. I'll just start right there. He shoots 40% from the three-point line. He leads our league in assists. I think he's the first player since Pete Maravich who's led our league in both points and assists. If you look at Arkansas as a team, the best thing they do is they never turn the ball over, and that's because he has the ball in his hands 80% of the time. His assist-to-turnover ratio is astonishing, and not until you actually are in the game and you feel his presence. You know, the adage of a point guard makes the game easier for his teammates. He's a textbook prime example of that. I just have never been on a court where one player at that position is any better than he is. You know, greatness is how I would describe his game, and seems like an amazing young man. And, you know, just to watch, I bring it up because this is game 30. He's got several weeks or a month or so left. But guys like him, they just don't come into college basketball very, very often. I mean, he's a generational player. He's really, really good. And this number one pick thing, like, I don't know why people aren't talking about him more. I can't imagine anybody better.
That's insane. I covered Sean at Arizona for 2 years. This man does not say this kind of stuff. Like, Sean is a interesting guy. He's an interesting coach. He's a hell of a coach, and he's put a lot of guys in the league. So for him to come out after he got whooped against Arkansas and say what he said about a cuff is pretty incredible. And just those numbers again, this is what he was talking about too. He has a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. On top of that, I guess technically he's averaging 22.2 points, 6.4 assists, shooting 43.7 from three, and that 3-to-1 assist ratio. He now is on pace to be the only D1 player to have those numbers in a season, which is pretty incredible.
Yesterday we talked a lot about how Sacramento's offense is just extremely outdated.
Yeah.
And their three-point shooting is pathetic. It's horrible. Not just their percentage, but their attempts, how badly they're outscored from three-point range on a nightly basis. The Kings are quite comfortably the worst three-point shooting team in the league. And I would not be surprised, I haven't looked at these numbers, I would not be surprised if the Kings were one of the worst three-point shooting teams just in recent memory. Like, that, they're that bad. So to have a guy who is shooting 43.7%, whose primary role is as a ball handler. But look, I respect the hell out of CP3 and the pass first point guards, the traditional point guard archetype, but you cannot be an effective star point guard at this level without having a three-point shot. And we saw De'Aaron Fox grind and work on that and develop that, and it's gotten better. It's certainly gotten a lot better from when he came into the league. If you're talking about a guy who could be your leading scorer, who could be the playmaker that you need, the point guard that you need, because that's another massive question mark for the Sacramento Kings is what the hell do they do at point guard going forward, and who directly addresses your shooting issues. I would not be surprised at all if the Sacramento Kings were to fall to 5 or 6, if they drop out of that top spot, if Darius Acuff Jr. becomes the guy that they're like, all right, that's who our target is in the next tier down below the. I wouldn't put him having the same superstar potential necessarily as a Darren Peterson, or an AJ DeBonsa because of what those two can simply do.
Yes,
but in terms of a filling a need who could also fill it at a star level, he absolutely should be on the radar.
I think like he's been in the back of like our minds. Like we've heard the name and we've heard some of the stats in a couple of the games he's had, but we just haven't talked about him as much. And after I heard that, I just really I went and watched some film on him and just last night because I was really intrigued by it. And I was like, damn, this guy plays like he's 18 years old and he plays with such a maturity and like a presence too. If you watch him, it's very interesting. Like Kingston, for the most part, does too. But there's just something about when I watched Darius that I was like, man, I like his style and I like the way he plays, but you're right. The 3-point shot, he has that. Per synergy, by the way, his catch and shoot percentage, 3-point percentage is at 49.5%. And that's off of 85 attempts.
Yeah. Which, as a point guard, you're not going to always get catch and shoot.
No.
But if you're going to play with a Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan or Domantas Sabonis, you're going to get those opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, and we're going to have at 11 o'clock,
yeah, I'm excited.
Corey Talaba of No Ceilings NBA, one of their draft analysts. One of the questions that we need to ask him is why Kingston Flemings is considered by many to be better. Here's just a numbers comparison. Yep. And it might be eye test related. If you are a Kingston Flemings fan and you think Kingston is better than Darius, you tell me why. Feel free. I'm not a place to debate you. But let's just go with the numbers, okay? Both of these guys have played 30 games this season. Darius is averaging 22 points. That's Acuff. Flemings is averaging 16.6 points. Okay, so maybe that means that Flemings is more of a traditional pass-first point guard. Well, Flemings is averaging 5 assists to Darius's 6.4. Yep. In terms of assist-to-turnover ratio, technically Acuff turns the ball over barely a little bit more than Flemings does. Both of them do a good job taking care of the basketball. In terms of shooting percentages, Acuff has the better field goal percentage and league's better three-point shooting percentage, 43% on 5.6 attempts per game. That's the important part, too. He takes a high volume of threes and knocks them down compared to Flemings taking 3 threes a game and shooting 37.8%. Now, if your argument is Houston's playing in more, like they play in more difficult conference, they play more difficult opponents, if that's your argument, that's a very, very fair argument. Again, I haven't watched Kingston Flemings on a nightly basis or Darius Acuff on a nightly basis to like compare and contrast the two. But I don't know if there should be as big of a gap in terms of draft boards between these two at the top point guards available in the draft. I still would like to see the Sacramento Kings prioritize the wing over the point guard position. That's just me.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad with either of them as a Sacramento King. I'd be disappointed, but wouldn't be mad with either of them.
Yeah, and I guess, like, Matt, if you really look at it, and you're right, I mean, you do want one of those two. I would agree with you, even though now I've found my new draft crush. But you do have to address the point guard in the future at some point, right?
It's one of the most important positions.
Sure.
You damn well better.
And if you trickle down and you happen to fall to one of these spots, all I'm saying is it could be worse. You might have two now that you could pick from. What fits you better? I don't know what fits the Kings better in terms of what they're thinking. But you got two good options.
How do you find a way to get both?
I know, right?
Find me a way
Just
to get AJ
greedy.
Devonta and Darius Acuff.
Yeah.
Whoo, boy.
Well, what if Acuff, for some odd reason, fell down and we had that whole scenario about Keegan pop up?
I
I don't think he would fall that far.
Boy,
but
I don't know what he would have to do wrong to make that happen, but boy, would that be interesting. We'll take the break. When we come back, what is the most prestigious title/championship in all of professional sports around the globe? Kayla, Kyle, and I will discuss that before we speak with Corey Talaba of No Ceilings NBA. That's coming up next. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax-free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at TurboTax.com/free.
No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Came across this during the break, Kayla, which is interesting with the conversation that we just had. Jeff Goodman is one of many NBA draft analysts out there.
Yeah.
And he just posted this updated mock draft. After talking to nearly a dozen NBA execs, here's a mock first round board. AJ Debonsa, number 1. He also says, many NBA execs are torn right now on who the number 1 pick is. He has AJ Debonsa, number 1, Darren Peterson, number 2, Cam Boozer, 3, Caleb Wilson, number 4, Kingston Fleming's number 5. So the same top 5, just a little bit of a different order. Darius Acuff Jr., 9.
Ooh, you don't say. So
maybe he
Scott
could be late
Perry.
top 10. How do you do
Want
that?
to trade Keegan?
Boy, Kayla fell in love with Darius Acuff Jr. and now she is like, trade Keegan Murray to get me Darius Acuff Jr.
No, I'm semi-joking, but it is intriguing.
Looks like the 9th pick currently is Chicago, so they know plenty of...
Listen, the Kings know how to make a deal with Chicago,
They
all right?
sure do.
Hey,
They
we
sure
took Zach
do.
LaVine off our hands. Help us out here, or off your hands. Help us out here.
If they sent Keegan to Chicago, I might consider quitting my job.
Well, don't do that.
Like, that would be the saddest thing ever.
Don't do that.
Do that.
I would have no hope if not only they traded Keegan, but traded him specifically to the Bulls, and they just became more of the Chicago Bulls.
We will be speaking with a NBA draft analyst from No Ceiling. Corey Talaba will join us in the next segment. But right now, let's go broad sports topic. And I'm very curious where you guys fall on this. In all of sports, and this could be from titles and championships, I'll even throw like a caveat. You could even put like an award in here, like an individual award, like a Heisman or the Ballon d'Or is how you pronounce it, I believe. How do you, or where do you put, or what is the most prestigious title, championship, award in all of pro sports? What is it in the world?
This is my opinion.
Yes.
So this is why I'm going to get a ton of pushback.
Correct.
And I'm aware of that.
Yep.
But when I think of prestigious title. It's not necessarily what like I said, you could put like the World Cup in there, things like that, because it's worldwide and it's based on viewers.
You could put Olympic gold medal.
You could put Olympics in there.
Right.
But I'm thinking out of the box on this one because what I feel like is prestigious sometimes is the hardest to win.
Okay.
Sometimes is also just the prestige of the trophy and what it means. And, you know, when you are the team that gets it, there's a lot of cool things that come along with it. And I'm also thinking about how it can change year to year so much to try to get this done, which again makes it harder to do. And I'm going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs and Lord Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Stick with me.
Okay.
Being someone who's covered it and covered a lot of other championships, I've never seen a playoff situation to get to that Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final that can be so crazy, that can turn like in terms of the regular season team was this good, and now this team's coming out of nowhere because their goalie turned it on or one player made the difference.
Yep.
And the amount of games you play, and it's just taxing. And then once you get there and you win it all and you get to raise, like they come out with the gloves.
Yeah,
and Lord Stanley Cup.
The sheer mass of the Stanley Cup, too.
And
Yeah.
then you get that award and you see them hoisting it over their heads. And then after, the Stanley Cup goes on a tour. And the Stanley Cup is in their homes. And, you know, it goes to TV stations. Like, I got to see the Stanley Cup. And they eat cereal out of it. And it's just an amazing thing, like to win a Stanley Cup and then everything else that goes along with it. For me, I'm thinking out of the box on this one. And that's why, to me, it's very prestigious.
Well, the point of this conversation is all based off of personal opinion. Because, for example, Ricardo in our YouTube comment section says it's the World Cup.
Right.
Worldwide talent pool. Countries put resources behind one team once in 4 years. World's most popular sport. Like, they're all phenomenal arguments for the World Cup outside of this country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, and I love the World Cup, and I know how crazy these countries shut down during the World Cup because everything that matters in that country is what happens when their national team is playing in the World Cup. So I recognize that. I haven't experienced it, but I recognize that. At the same time, for me, here in America, where Team USA ain't winning the World Cup anytime soon, at least the men. The women dominate, but the men, they're not doing it anytime soon. It's not there for me. I could make an argument for the Super Bowl, that the Super Bowl is the individual, probably largest single sporting event in the world. Like, it is number one in terms of just global draw, domestic draw here in the United States, the amount of money behind it, the prestige of the Lombardi Trophy. But I actually might end up going Champions League in professional soccer.
Okay.
Because where it differs from the World Cup is it's club-based, it's not nationally based, so you've built your best team in your country, in your league, consisting of players from all over the planet, and now you have to beat the absolute juggernauts, icon, best teams around the world, from PSG to Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Bayern Munich. Like, there's so many monster clubs with billions upon billions upon billions of dollars spent on these rosters of absolute international icons. Man City. And who's the best of that? Again, maybe United States doesn't have the biggest draw, but that is like truly the best of the world's game.
Yeah.
So I think it's that for me.
Yeah, and those I'm not an international soccer person. I'm not afraid to say it. I've been to Arsenal. I've seen and I love it. I think it's great. I don't live in that world.
Yep.
But I understand those who do and why it would be that. Absolutely.
Kyle, do you have one? What's yours?
Okay, so let's just kind of work through this because I don't have one specifically, but in my mind, I'm thinking if it's the most prestigious title in all the world, I feel like it should be an individual accomplishment.
Sure.
Oh.
I also don't want to pick golf or tennis because like there's 4 different things that you can win. Like the major sports, it doesn't work. So in my mind, I'm trying to think, is there any other individual sport where there's like something you've conquered? I was trying to think through the Olympics. Like, is there a specific like Olympic event that is carrying such a prestige?
Phelps, what he did, like with the swimming?
The what?
Michael Phelps, but that's more of an individual athlete being at the absolute top of their sport. That has more to do with the athlete and less to do with the sport, but I get the point.
So the only thing that I kind of came up with that like makes sense of like a prestigious title is the 100-meter dash, just because of the specifics of it is A, simple, B, everyone can diagnose it and like everyone knows what they're watching, and C, you get the title of being the fastest woman in the world, the fastest man in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I guess
That's a good point.
That's the only thing I could come to, but
That's pretty significant. If you're talking about individual awards too, being a Grand Slam champion in golf, that's winning all 4 majors, becoming a champion at like Wimbledon and in tennis. Like there's a lot of individual sports.
That's a good point.
But that one's tough because it's like each of the 4 majors, like what is prestige when they're all kind of weighted equally? Like I get everyone says the Masters is the big thing in golf, but like technically all the majors are just as prestigious.
Right, but winning all of them is in itself, being a Grand Slam champion is in itself a title. Like you've won everything there is to win at the highest level of professional golf, and that's a massive international game that is strictly individual. You are by yourself. So that there's definitely an argument to be made for that. If you're looking more individual versus group versus team, whatever you want to do. Like
you could argue really a lot of sports. And again, this is just an individual take, right? Not everybody's going to agree on this. But it's crazy though we can argue so many of them and reasons why.
You know what's funny? The NBA is my favorite league. Basketball is my favorite sport. It will forever be. There is no argument for the NBA.
And why? I just want to ask you really quick why you think that, Matt. Just coming from a guy that is pretty much has grown up with the NBA in their backyard.
The NBA is a monster here, but it can't claim to be number 1 in its own country. That's football.
And that right there is a great point.
The NBA is booming internationally, but it cannot claim it's any better than soccer or football in that sense in many countries. Like the NBA is globally number 2. It just is. Now, some of the greatest athletes of all time are NBA players. So I don't mean to disparage the NBA in any kind of way. Again, I love it. It's my favorite league, my favorite sport on the planet. But I don't know any argument for the NBA where we struggle to come up with the one way the NBA beats the NFL, and it's trades. It's maybe individual star power, but that's it.
I think part of prestige too is like storied history type of stuff. Like the Stanley Cup, I understand that argument.
A little bit of that.
And basketball has history, but it is not as lengthy and prestigious as some of these other sports.
You need to have international basketball matter more, and I know they're trying to do NBA Europe and stuff like that, but you need to have international basketball matter more, not just that the best international stars are coming to the NBA and dominating, but the expectation is every year Team USA is going to win the World Cup. Eurobasket happened. Granted, that's Europe. Germany won. And as much as we cared, because Dennis Schroeder at the time was the champion.
Not a lot of other people did.
Didn't care. Yeah. And basketball's huge over there. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the same. It's not the same as soccer. It's not the same as football here in the United States. So as much as I love basketball, same thing with baseball. We'll see with the World Baseball Classic how well that does. We'll talk about the World Baseball Classic and why it should matter more to the USA coming up at 11:30. But to me, I can't really make an argument for that. We'll take the break. When we come back, Corey Talaba of No Ceilings NBA, one of the many draft analysts over there. He joins us. Let's dive back into the NBA draft and your favorite prospects. If you have a question that you want to ask about your favorite prospect, send it to us, 916-339-1140. You can text it there or hop in the YouTube chat and put your questions in the YouTube chat. We will ask Corey and talk to him about the NBA draft for the next half hour, beginning at 11 o'clock.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... Let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Co-hosts of the wildly popular Bad Friends podcast, Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Wow, I can't even believe that this is real right now.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like this is a scam. It's going to explode on you.
No. Live Saturday, March 14th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Do you know what the 3 colors on the Irish flag stand for?
What?
The hair, the skin, the soul.
Oh, is that what liquor does to your soul?
Yeah, turns you green.
Buy tickets now. Visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Oh, this is like...
That's top notch.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 11.
What are you doing? You trying to get me in trouble?
Oh my God, that is awful.
Yeah, I believe it's Sunday, May 10th, I believe, is lottery day.
Oh no.
What the hell are you doing, NBA? Because there's no way I can't be locked into that. On
Ready to
Mother's
pod.
Day?
This is so bad.
Oh, I'm going to be in
This
so
is
much.
also going to ruin, Styles over here.
I damn well better be, or the Kings better get the top pick if I'm going to be in the doghouse because the NBA draft lottery's on. How are you doing that, NBA?
Oh, man.
You're going to make so many people.
I feel for you guys.
You're going to get them in so much trouble. So many dudes are going to be in so much trouble because they're going to be, instead of taking care of the mothers in their life,
Yep.
they're going to be locked into stupid ping pong balls.
Mm-hmm. And then if you don't get the right ping pong, they're going. Your man going to go crazy, and then it's just going to be over. No Mother's Day for you.
Oh boy, my wife is going to kick my ass, but hopefully it'll be worth it because the Kings will have the number 1 pick. Corey Tulaba of NBA Ceilings NBA. or No Ceilings NBA, excuse me, joining us here on Matt and Kayla. Corey, we're seeing the bottom 10 teams in the NBA right now go a combined 0-44. A 44-game losing streak right now, and pretty soon all these teams are going to have to start playing each other. The Sacramento Kings are terrified, or at least I am for the Kings, to lose that top spot that they have. But you're looking at this draft class as a whole and the amount of talent in this draft class. Do you think it's going to be worth it for all these teams that are blatantly earning the ire of Adam Silver in order to get their hands on some of this talent?
It most certainly will be worth it, for sure. This has probably been my favorite stat that I've heard recently, that this is truly the tank of all tanks. I absolutely love it. But it's worth it, man. Like, this is the craziest draft class that I've ever evaluated from a strictly, potential as prospects, how these guys pan out in the long term. There's a lot of variables that are going to go into that, obviously. But just strictly judging off, like, their talent, the production, the depth of this class, like, you're going to be able to get a high-level player, I think, all the way through the top 10, maybe even the lottery. And then we always know that there are guys who go outside of the lottery who end up being some of the better players in the long run. So, but as far as the tank race, I mean, it's well worth it. This top group, it's really special. And the thing about it is, like, this is going to be the last one, I think, for a couple of years. Not only because of all the dire consequences that will probably lead to it, but next year's class, I'm sure it'll be talented, but it's not going to be as top-heavy as this class is.
Corey, we had this conversation, I believe it was yesterday on the show, when talking about the possible 1 and 2, whatever way you want to put it, Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsa. And right now, there's been a little bit of a lull in, I'm not going to say completely their own individual games, but their teams have struggled as of late in a way. Do we put anything on those two individually and how they maybe should be looking at this time of the season? Or is it more so just because they probably are a little tired as we enter March Madness time?
I mean, it's a little bit of that. Darren's also, has been dealing with injuries throughout this entire process. Like, he's not at 100%. There are aspects of his game that he got to show off in high school that he hasn't been able to, I think, due to him dealing with this nagging injury, as well as just the role that he's been placed in Kansas, which is not necessarily like a powerhouse of like top end talent as far as like a developmental perspective for guards and wings. And then with AJ, you could argue that Richie Saunders from a college perspective is, the most valuable player on that BYU team, at least his number 2. And, he's now out for the rest of the season. So that's another reason why BYU has kind of struggled. But I would be remiss to say that those two are not just the top 2 guys. I mean, Cam Boozer is being severely underrated as potentially the best guy in this class. I mean, we could be looking back in not talking about him the way that we should be, the same way that we now look at Luka as, potentially should have been the top pick, arguably in his class. I feel very similarly to that. But as far as those other 2 guys struggling, I think it has a little bit to do with circumstance and is not necessarily an indictment of the players who I think have more or less been excellent this year.
Corey Tulaba, NBA draft analyst for No Ceilings NBA, joining us. Corey, sticking with that theme of Cam Boozer, I'm a huge fan of AJ DeBonsa specifically. If I had my pick, if the Kings have the number 1 pick, I want AJ here in Sacramento. I know that's just me, but it's funny how guys like Keegan got this label to some extent, although I do believe Cam Boozer is supposed to be and will be a better player than Keegan Murray is. You get this label of being like you have the highest floor, and you're the safe pick, quote unquote, which has a negative connotation to something that's very complimentary. And in terms of Cam Boozer just being a straight winning basketball player for the number 1 team in college basketball in the Duke Blue Devils, is it the lack of, I guess, flashiness to his game that has him so low? Are teams afraid that the way he plays at that 4 spot won't fully translate as a star to the NBA? What is it in terms of hesitation that you're hearing around Cam Boozer specifically?
Yeah, I think it has a little bit to do with, potentially his ability to guard in space, although I think that's fairly overblown. It's definitely a little bit of aesthetic bias as far as it doesn't look as cool as Darren or AJ when he has it going. But look, he has won literally everything his entire life on the international circuit, at the high school circuit. He has AAU. He has accomplished everything there is to accomplish, and now he is the best player in college basketball as one of the youngest players in the draft again. And so, it just gets to a point where you can make excuses for why you shouldn't take him instead of just going, oh, yeah, this dude is incredible. He basically has zero holes in his game. He's got the strength already to be a 25, 26-year-old veteran in the league. He reads the game like a supercomputer. At what point do we just go, we need to have him in every single discussion? I understand the arguments for either of those two guys. Personally, I have Darren number one on my board. But honestly, from a Kings perspective, as an outsider, Cam might be like a fairly easy choice for me. This is an organization that has not had any sense of stability. And if you draft Cam Boozer, your team is going to be set for, the next 15 years in a way that the Kings have never really had in this, decade, century, however you want to frame it. And he's going to be a guy that I think it's going to be fairly easy to build a championship team around as well, because you could just plug and play him next to absolutely anybody. And like you said, there is no downside with him. He is rock solid across the board, and I think his potential gets underrated because he's not as flashy.
Corey, when it comes to Caleb Wilson, obviously we'd love to see him playing right now, and the injury has him sidelined currently. He could come back for March Madness, but you got to love the fight that this kid has played with, and he wanted to play, obviously. Do you feel the injury has any effect on kind of limiting him the second half of the season, or where do you see him falling? What's his greatest strength?
Well, his athleticism and his the dog that you kind of referred to, those are, I think, his two greatest strengths, but he's just an incredibly versatile 6'10" kind of wingy forward. To me, he is not quite Evan Mobley and Chet positionally, because those guys are a little bit taller. But I think he's kind of like a wing version of those guys, where he is just going to do all of the dirty work. It doesn't always have to be filling up the box score as a scorer, but he impacts the game in so many ways that I think that he is going to have that kind of impact on a team. As far as the injury, if he does come back, which I know he said that he was planning on doing, I'm not sure how it'll affect him. He wasn't a great shooter to begin with. That's a hole in his game that he has to work on. He's good in the, kind of the long mid-range, which is not exactly an efficient NBA shot. But he has the freedom to take. He took it in high school, it's taken him in college, and he's good there. So I think you can project him long-term to potentially be a guy who could space the floor a little bit. But I don't think that that's going to really affect him in a negative way necessarily, because he already struggles there. As far as how else it could affect him, I don't know. It's a hand injury. If he bangs it up again, it could take him out of the pre-draft process. But I think his game will be pretty solid. He can create a little bit, but again, it hasn't been a strength of his, or at least that isn't how he's been deployed. It was more so at the high school level. So, a hand injury can affect your handle, but he's not really doing a ton of that anyway. So I think they'll put him in positions that you shouldn't really see that much of a drop off. But if they want to compete in March Madness, they need him. So I think he's going to play through it. I think he's going to use it as an opportunity to prove his toughness. And personally, I have him at number 3 on my personal board. So he's in that top group for me, and he has been basically since the preseason, when a lot of outlets had him, kind of lower in the lottery. I just have always seen a guy with his tools, his measurements, his skills, his toughness. I've always been a fan. So I hope he comes back, and I hope it doesn't affect him.
We're talking NBA draft with Corey Tulaba, who is a NBA draft analyst for No Ceilings. That entire No Ceilings crew does phenomenal work covering the draft top to bottom all year long, not just around this time of year where business really starts to pick up. Corey, you said Darren Peterson is number 1 on your board, and it sounds like such a simple question to just ask why, but what is it about everything that we've heard and seen on the court, off the court, that has you firmly with That's the guy. That's the best player in the draft. I think he deserves to go number 1 overall.
I think he's the most effortless college scorer that I've seen since probably Kevin Durant. Like nothing he does is difficult. And again, I think he's doing this on, I don't know, maybe he's 85% of where he actually is. His flaw coming into this college season as a freshman was people didn't know if he was going to be a 3-point shooter because that wasn't his game in high school. He was getting downhill. He was using his athleticism that I think was really special. Not maybe like the craziest vertical leaper that you've ever seen, although certainly a strength of his. But, you know, when I saw him live, I had never seen anybody move like him. He was gliding on the court, almost skating, while everybody else it looked like he was playing a different sport. But people questioned his shot. He's turned himself into like Ray Allen. You know, he was getting Kobe comps, and now he looks like Ray Allen right now with the way he's shooting. But I just feel like if you watch his priors, you watch him at Prolific Prep, the way that he played, there's so much untapped potential because he's not getting to show it all. He's playing next to guys who can't really space the floor in the backcourt, and so he's had to take that role on instead of being the guy who's going to be the creator, which he was at the high school level. I think that he's, you know, a better two-way player than a guy like A.J. DeBonza as well. He's a really competitive, smart defender who is great at causing defensive events, generating steals and blocks. And so, you know, people question his toughness, his competitiveness and all that, you know, wondering if he's good, you know, what's going on with him. If he was just going to shut it down, if he wasn't competitive, he could have shut it down. He'd have been the top 3 pick regardless of whether he played or not this year. The fact that, to me, he's been fighting through whatever lingering issues he's had health-wise is a tip of the cap to him. And, you know, he could have probably done a better job, him and his camp, of explaining what's going on. But, you know, he's 18, 19 years old. He never navigated anything like this with this kind of attention. And so if there is any kind of medical red flags, we'll find that out during the pre-draft process. But ultimately, I just think he is a special offensive talent who is showing minimally what he's capable of this season as a freshman.
Corey, who do you feel will be really the besides Darren Peterson? I know he's labeled as a shooting guard, point guard, but the top point guard after, you know, 4 or 5 to come off the board, is that Kingston Flemings in your eyes? If it is, why? If not, who else is?
I'm a little bit lower on Kingston Fleming.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a good player for sure, but his scoring process is a little inconsistent. You know, he doesn't take a high volume of threes. He doesn't get to the free throw line a ton. You know, he's super athletic. He gets to the paint, but you kind of need those two things to be efficient at the NBA level, and his shot diet just has not accounted for that. I think he's a really good playmaker, but ultimately I have him behind an incredibly strong point guard class. To me, the top prospect is Michael Brown Jr. He is really athletic. He's a late, growth spurt guy. He's now up to 6'5". He was, 5'11" just a couple of years ago. He's still kind of learning his body, but his combination of high volume of threes, elite free throw touch, the ability to finish at the rim, make plays. I think he has the best package out of all these guards. But Darius Acuff Jr. has been the best point guard this year. I have him right behind Michael Brown on the ever so slim margins, just because I think Michael Brown's size, his height, will allow him to maybe not affect the game as negatively defensively, because Acuff has been pretty poor on that end, probably because he's carrying such a heavy offensive load. But from an offensive perspective, from a consistency perspective, it's been Darius Acuff, no question.
Yeah, and we had just got off of a segment of talking about him. I don't know if you heard Sean Miller speak about him last night after Texas got pretty much wiped clean. That was crazy to me. I've covered Sean, and for him to come out and say that about an opposing guard who just whooped your you-know-what, I was blown away, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very often that you hear an opposing coach talk up a player like that. But, I mean, he was incredible last night. I mean, 13 assists. He does his thing as a scorer. But he's just improved so much, too. From the course of, I got a chance to be at the Nike Hoop Summit last year, watch him practice for a number of days and then get in the game. And it was all right, he's kind of like ball stoppy, kind of like an early 2000s point guard. And that's kind of how he played at IMG Academy. But he has just like kind of learned how to manipulate defenses and toy with them almost. Like he's manipulating backline help with his eyes. He's getting everybody involved. He's understanding when to score, when to pass, how to leverage his scoring to make everybody better. So, I mean, offensively, he's just an absolute handful. And I got to see him against Kingston Flemings this year when Arkansas played Houston. And I was just so impressed by him, his competitiveness. He switched a matchup defensively, too, at one point because one of his teammates was struggling, and he took that on as well. So, I mean, while I do have the defensive questions, I do think a lot of it does come from the fact that he carries an offensive load. When he's defending, he doesn't play with as much physicality as he does offensively, I think because he needs to stay out of foul trouble. So at the next level, if he's playing with other great players, he might be able to focus on the defensive side of the ball a little bit more than he is in college.
We're joined by Corey Tulaba of No Ceilings NBA, one of the draft analysts over there. A question from one of our listeners, Roddy. Corey, he wants to know about Braden Burries, the shooting guard, point guard combo or hybrid guard out of Arizona. What do you think of him? He's probably outside of the range in terms of interest from the Sacramento Kings unless they want to pursue potentially trading back into the first round, which would be pretty interesting to say the least. But what do you think of Braden and how he's risen?
Love him. He is my 7th ranked prospect. He's right behind the Michael Brown, Darius Acuff group. I love his strength. He's a big guard. He's 6'4", and he's like 200 plus pounds. And I think strength is one of the most underrated aspects of a young prospect. Like when you go into the league, everybody there plays with a level of physicality that you need to match. And if you can't do that as a young player, oftentimes you don't find the floor because you become food. He's not like that. And he plays with an intensity on both sides of the ball that I love. When I was at the McDonald's All-American game, he was guarding 94 feet. That's an all-star game. He picked up Caden Boozer end to end. I love that. Offensively, he's really grown. He started pretty slow his first 5 games, turned it around. He's turned himself into a pretty consistent shooter off the dribble and off the catch. He's not as much of a pure point guard as the rest of the guys. Solid decision maker, good pick and roll passer, but doesn't have necessarily the same creativity and flair as some of the other guys to be that primary. But I kind of love how he could pair with other players on the floor and kind of play on or off of those guys while allowing your team to stay big in a way that not every kind of point guard allows you to, because he also has that strength along with, the 6'4" body.
I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball at you and follow this or go with this however you want to as best as you can as someone who covers each draft class and forecasts draft classes. Of course, we don't know anything for certain. That's why the job that you guys do is so mesmerizing, how accurate you guys can be so much of the time. It's crazy. You said earlier in our conversation, like, this draft class compared to some of the coming draft classes are not comparable. This one is a lot stronger. From the Sacramento Kings perspective, the one thing that the Kings have going in their favor is the fact that they have, for the most part, full control of their draft picks and their draft assets going forward, as well as some, we think, middle-of-the-road assets for other teams. We presented on this show maybe a month ago the concept or the idea of either using a piece like Keegan Murray or using some of those future draft assets in order to try and pick up another top pick, potentially even another lottery pick in this year's draft on draft night, assuming there's a player there or maybe a player fell that the Kings really want to go after and get. The question that I have for you is, do you feel that if there's a time to make an aggressive draft night move like that for a team like the Sacramento Kings, who is in the cellar of the NBA and is desperate for to start the next chapter or write a whole new book at this point, do you think that is a potentially smart or worthwhile risk or swing to make with this draft class this year?
Yeah, I mean, I if I can choose between having, a back-end lottery pick in this class versus next one, it would definitely be this class. So if you could be aggressive and you targeted a player that you truly felt not only had the ability to, affect the game now, but in the long term and grow alongside whoever, they end up getting with that first pick, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you look at what the Thunder have done and picking guys in, multiple guys in the same class and allowing them to kind of grow and develop together. I think that is a smart decision. And, when you're a team like the Kings, you're going to need this high-end talent right now with where they're at. And if you can, we know that the draft is chaotic and there's going to be high-end talent that ends up slipping further down the board. So even if it's not like a lottery pick, it could be, somebody who was projected to go lottery that ends up going closer to the 20s or in the 20s. Tyrese Maxey was a top 5 guy coming into that cycle, had a weird year at Kentucky and ended up going in the 20s. Like, these things happen. So if there are players that the Kings front office and scouts have identified that they've felt good about for a while, then yeah, be aggressive if it makes sense.
Is there a sneaky late lottery or just outside of the lottery player that you would say, like, if the Kings or any team were to target that guy? There's always those diamonds in the rough, right? And every draft analyst has those guys that they love that nobody's talking about. And trust me, in 3-4 years, this is going to be a guy that we're talking about. Is there anybody in this draft class that checks that box for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a few. I mean, I think a sneaky guy is Bennett Sturts from Iowa. He's a little bit older. He kind of burst on the scene last year at Drake as like a mid-major darling, but has been better, arguably, this year at Iowa in the Big Ten than he was for Drake. I mean, he's an absolute sniper, one of the best shooters in this class, like lights out, smart player, never turns the ball over. Like, if you're building a team where you want to play a modern brand of basketball, you want to take care of the ball, maximize your possessions, he's a guy that I think could go a little bit underrated. Maybe you even get him a little bit outside the lottery because teams are, they tend to be scared of age. It's a reason why a guy like Nick Clifford, dropped to where he dropped to last year. There could be a risk. Like, Jaden Quaintance is a guy who could potentially drop a little bit. He's dealing with a weird injury. And this season at Kentucky, it could end up being a really strong value play. A guy who was projected to be, a top 5 pick coming into the year because his freshman season, he wasn't even eligible to enter the draft. He was 17. He was too young. He had reclassified and didn't meet the requirements to enter the draft. And he just so happened to be injured. He tried to come back, and now it seems like people are a little bit down on him. But yeah, he's another guy that I think could be interesting in that same kind of mold. And then Merez Johnson is another guy, front court player on Michigan, arguably the most impactful player on that team. If you look at the advanced statistics, just an absolute monster physical presence, 6'9", 6'10", 7'2" wingspan, 250 pounds, insane motor, a guy who is going to impact winning. I would love to see like him and Dylan Cardwell on the floor at the same time. The offense might be junked up a little bit, but like just smart players who have an insane motor, insane athleticism that I think could grow and play together.
I'm glad Corey brought up Dylan Cardwell because the No Ceilings guys were all about Dylan Cardwell for a long time, and the Sacramento Kings were smart enough to scoop him up. No Ceilings provides phenomenal coverage of the NBA draft and draft prospects and profiles all year long around college basketball, international basketball, and beyond. Corey, keep up the great work over there. Have fun with the madness that's about to begin later this month, all the way up through draft lottery day into the NBA draft itself, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you again very, very soon.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, Corey.
That is the great Corey Tulaba of No Ceilings NBA. We'll take the break. When we come back, the World Baseball Classic begins tomorrow, and it should matter more, not just to USA fans, but to the USA players, and I'll tell you why. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7.
Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally Towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
The World Baseball Classic begins tomorrow with Team USA taking on Brazil, I believe. Brazil. And my excitement has been building for the World Baseball Classic. Then I read a stat this morning that impacted my pride.
Uh-oh.
And there is a lot of pride in the World Baseball Classic. Just watch one of these Puerto Rico exhibition games.
Yeah.
They're going Japan. Japan as well. They're going bonkers. These are exhibition games.
Yeah.
They're going nuts. Like these nations, these teams, they love it. They care. They're invested. And of course, Team USA is star-studded. The biggest names in baseball, vast majority of them are on Team USA. However, baseball is supposed to be America's pastime. And yet, it kind of hasn't been. Not just in this country where baseball has been passed up pretty significantly by both football and basketball. Other teams or other countries, quite frankly, are just better or have been better than USA when it comes to international baseball. Check this stat out. Team USA has a .600 winning percentage through the first 5 World Baseball Classics. Okay, it's above 500. It's not bad. Like, that's good. They win 60% of their games. Okay. That ranks 5th behind Japan, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Against those 4 teams, plus Mexico and Cuba, all time, USA is 11-13.
Wow.
Right?
Didn't expect that stat
A
to pop
losing
up.
record. No, we got to win this thing.
Yeah.
We got to win this thing with freaking Bobby Witt Jr. and Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper and Skeens and Scooble. And I know like there's limitations on how much the guys can pitch. And this is all preparation for the MLB season. And the MLB owns and controls all of this. So they want to make sure their players are protected and stuff like that. I get all that stuff. But for pride's sake, damn it, we got to win this thing. We can't be 5th at our own freaking game in the World Baseball Classic.
And that's it. What's crazy about baseball is we think of it here as America's pastime. In a way, the word pastime, what's part of it? It gets passed up. Like you're past it, right? And we've had all these other sports that have continued to grow at a rapid pace compared to baseball, where baseball's kind of like, for a time period, it took a step back.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it is gaining more traction since they've changed some rules and sped up the game. But it's down the list in terms of pro sports in our country.
Mm-hmm.
But we still think of it as like it's a great sport that's been around for a long time here. Whereas in the DR or Japan, it is kind of crazy how they celebrate the game. And they all pick up baseball bats and a mitt at a very, very young age. Mm-hmm. Whereas right now in this country, kids aren't picking up baseball bats and a mitt. They're picking up a football, or they're picking up a soccer, or, kicking a soccer ball, or even a basketball. It is weird how these other countries, though, that's still the first thing they think of when they're kids is we're picking up a baseball and we got a mitt in our hand.
Yeah.
So the point now being, though, is you have America's best players that majority of them right now, and you look at the roster, I'd say DR's close. DR's close to that roster.
They're stacked, man.
There's some really good players, but America's team right now should be able to win it all. It can be close, but they should be able to win it all. They've got the hitters. I know the pitching can be a little bit tricky in the World Baseball Classic, but if you can get the bats going, and especially with DR, outscore them just a little if it comes down to it, that's the recipe to winning the RBC or the WBC.
Yep.
Is the RBC the golf tournament?
I think it is. Yeah, it is the golf tournament. There's no excuse with this roster to not do it this year. It's your best chance.
It's stacked with talent. The biggest name in baseball plays for Japan. That's, of course, Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
The Dominican Republic is stacked. There's a ton of international talent that is blessed the MLB with these stars and these icons and these personalities, and that's wonderful. Aaron Judge, if you're the king of baseball, you better show it now. And your supporting cast right behind you. And this Team USA is stacked. And I believe, I'm not going to
Can
pretend.
you say the roster again?
Yeah, I'll go through their
just so we
I'll go through their roster in just a
hear
second.
the names.
But I don't know the psychology of these guys. I have to imagine they're competitive. They want to win for Team USA. But this can't be it's taking the place of spring training. No. You're going to start, if you're Aaron Judge, you're thinking, I'm starting this season winning the World Baseball Classic, and I'm ending this season winning the World Series, and both of those things matter just as much as one another to me. I want to see USA take their rightful place. Now, ESPN put out their power rankings of teams.
Yeah.
And USA is number 1 in their power rankings. So that's good. There might be a little bias there.
Sure.
But that's good.
Right. And while you look up the roster, what I'll say to that too now, there's no better time. And Drew is exactly right. Drew said MLB does a horrible job at marketing the sport. You're exactly right, Drew. I've been saying this for the past several years. They are behind the times. And I put most of that because of their commissioner, who I just feel like has not been up to the times in terms of what other sports are doing. But this is the time. I know it's the World Baseball Classic. It's not identically like what we're talking about with the MLB. But the U.S. just won the men's hockey for Olympics. And what a time to keep it rolling.
Yep.
And to keep attention on sports that we want to see keep growing. We want to see the NHL grow. We want to see MLB continue to grow with these great young U.S. stars. This is the time to keep that momentum going, U.S. It'd be incredible, I really do think, for the game and for just MLB in general.
So here are some of the, I won't say the whole roster, but I'll go through some of the biggest names on Team USA's roster. We'll start with positions first. Cal Raleigh at catcher, Alex Bregman, Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., Byron Buxton, Pete Crow Armstrong, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber. And then in terms of pitchers, Paul Skeens, Tariq Skubal, Logan Webb, Clayton Kershaw, Mason Miller. I laugh with Clayton Kershaw because we know where Clayton's at this point in his career, but he's still there.
You mean fat Clayton Kershaw, according to Kayla.
Don't do that.
It's not me. Kayla said it.
I didn't say, I meant PHAT, you know?
Yeah, like cool.
Like cool.
Yeah.
Said he put on a few.
He did.
Bro, you're so fat, man. You're so cool.
You know who says that? Old people.
Well.
I know. I am old.
All right.
Well, you're not that old, but.
But I read that stat this morning, and I was mad. I was
like,
are you
did
kidding
you get
me?
fired up, Matt?
I was like, are you kidding? How are we number 5 in the World Baseball Classic? If this truly is going to be the international tournament of baseball, how the hell are we number 5? Like, we got to step this up.
I just see Matt in the mirror this morning, getting ready for the show. He puts his chain on, his gold chain. He said, listen,
Aaron Judge.
Listen, Aaron, you know, because the MLB guys, they wear their stuff. Like, they wear their bling out there. Matt's just giving himself a pep talk in the mirror. Like,
listen,
this is our year.
Well, Aaron Judge, the guy with no rings?
If Team USA was serious about winning this thing, they would have Nick Kurtz on their roster, but I guess they're not so serious, huh?
Well, they got Paul Goldschmidt.
Do not hate on Goldie. He has had an incredible career.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Incredible career. I'm a big fan of Goldie.
I feel like there's more to that, though. I feel like that was a barb. I feel like that was that a mean spirited thing about Paul Goldschmidt?
I know.
Or was that
I felt
a nice
like it
thing
was
about
too.
Because Goldie's been great.
Do you know Goldie was like, when there was 8 rounds of the MLB draft, he was like an 8th round pick that nobody wanted out of a little college. I covered him as a rookie in short A ball in Missoula, Montana.
Okay, that's cool.
And to know where he is today, you don't ever talk smack about Goldie. I'll smack you upside your head.
All right, Matt. So you want to defend Nick Kurtz being on the team now?
Look.
Now that you know Goldschmidt took his spot?
You're the one that you brought Goldie up. It didn't have to be Goldie that has to take the bump. Like Nick deserves to be there, and he will be there one day, let me tell you. Nick is going to be there very, very soon.
I'm excited to watch his career for sure.
If they don't win, if Team USA doesn't win, we're cleaning house.
Well, I was watching that Dominican Republic game yesterday. You know Julio's their 7-hitter?
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez.
Remind me.
Yeah, that team's nuts.
Julio Rodriguez is their 7-hitter.
That team's
I know.
stacked.
It's a really
Doesn't matter.
It's a really good team.
We're winning. It's our game. It's our sport.
And they have Luis Severino.
Well,
But
that's the good thing.
Look at Canada, technically. Team Canada for hockey was supposed to be technically better than the U.S.
I'm going to be so pissed off if Luis Severino throws like a 2-hitter against Team USA or something. I'd be like, where the hell was that?
Well, his last start at Sutter Health Park, he went like 6 2/3 shutout. I thought that was funny.
Good. He probably complained about the mound again.
God, I wish I still had. The new technology doesn't work, but we used to just have a looping video of Severino falling off the mound that we could play.
I don't mean to hate on the guy. I hope he's good for the A's because, well, the A's desperately need Luis Severino to be good.
You mean the highest paid athletic in the history of the franchise?
Well, that part too.
I'm getting excited. I can't wait for baseball season soon. I'm literally. Oh, and I got to remind me. I have to talk to you guys about the San Jose Sharks after the show. Or in break.
Got you.
Okay.
Got it. All right. Well, speaking of which, we will take the break. When we come back, it's time to pick a side, including some interesting comments about from Mike Brown about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's all coming up before lunch break. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7.
Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton and Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
At Planet Fitness, we're getting strong for the season's biggest games. Join now and your first month is free. Whether you're chasing a buzzer beater or your everyday goals, we've got next level amenities like red light recovery and hydro massage to help you rebound and recover. Plus, with the PF Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and access over 2,800 locations. Join now for $1 down, $24.99 a month and get your first month free. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, March 13th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the Subaru A Lot to Love event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for special spring savings on over 270 new Subarus.
Made a great deal at Maida.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
Still fired up about the World Baseball Classic. Come on, Team USA, get it done.
Is it technically starting tonight?
Well, it technically already started.
Oh, okay.
It did?
Because of the time change.
Yeah, because there's the Japan pool. So, I think Taiwan played Australia already.
Oh.
But U.S. plays tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow at 5 p.m., I think.
By the way, the ESPN power rankings for the World Baseball Classic: USA 1, Dominican Republic 2, Japan 3, Venezuela 4, Mexico 5, Puerto Rico 6, Korea 7, Canada 8.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did you see that crazy story? So Carlos Correa, obviously his body is broken, and so the Astros won't let him play in the World Baseball Classic.
Huh.
Bad Bunny was trying to pay his insurance to be in the World Baseball Classic.
No, I love that.
I would say, okay, cool, let's do it.
The Astros still denied it, but they...
Shocking. The Astros are annoying. Wow.
Okay. In their defense, Carlos Correa is you know that SpongeBob meme where the guy is glass bones and paper skin? That's Carlos Correa's body at this point.
Astros, don't worry. You're not going to be better than either Seattle or...
No.
The A's.
Yeah, take that.
So be careful.
They're not.
Take that, Houston.
They're going to be stinky.
Houston, we have a problem.
Go hit your trash cans and let Carlos Correa play in the World Baseball Classic.
What he said.
All right. Time to pick a side. Topic number 1.
All right, topic number 1. Our favorite birthday boy, Mike Brown.
Yeah.
After the Knicks Thunder game yesterday, said SGA is the best at convincing refs he's getting hit on fouls. Are we going fair or foul?
It's fair. He's good at it. SGA's a master. at it. Now, he doesn't blatantly foul bait to the level that, like, James Harden built a career off of. Like, James Harden just made it, and also James Harden created the travel, a.k.a. the 2-foot step back, which is terrible in a travel, and I hate that it exists. But SGA, he definitely foul baits. He makes it part of his game, and it works. You know who also does that really, really well? DeMar DeRozan. DeMar just plays for the Sacramento Kings, so
exactly. He doesn't get recognized, yeah.
But yes, it's a fair criticism. It's fair commentary. Mike Brown was livid last night because SGA had 2 fouls early in that game and then should have been called for a third in the first quarter when he absolutely ran over Jalen Brunson. It should have been a charge, but they didn't call it. And Mike Brown went nutso. And we've seen Mike, who's, again, one of the nicest guys on the planet. We've seen Mike lose his mind against referees before a few times against the Sacramento Kings. That was one of those times. So absolutely fair what Mike said. Doesn't mean SGA is going to do anything about it.
Look, I think it's fair what he said because it is true. I think the timing was a little off because it just happened to be that game they lose, and that's like kind of the first thing you talk about, and it looks like an excuse in a way a little bit.
He did that for the Kings, too.
Yeah, so the timing was a little off in terms of, like, bringing that up.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair because Mike is going to be Mike, and he's going to tell you the truth. And there's no denying that SGA, at least right now, is the best at doing just that. So I'm in a little bit in the middle of this, but because I like Mike Brown because of you've convinced me, I'll side with you on this.
Kayla has to like Mike Brown to keep her co-host sane.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like for you, it's Mike Brown. For her, it's Paul Goldschmidt. You know,
Mike should have brought the laptop out, the famous laptop. Start showing the media. Look at this. This is what he did. Forever the greatest Mike Brown meme.
Yeah, he's probably going to lose some of, what was it? He lost Tahoe vacation money. Is that what he called it when he did the laptop thing?
Doing just fine.
Probably going to lose his Tahoe vacation money for the SGA comments.
He's doing just fine.
I also love that everyone is like hating on like Wemby said the same thing about like ethical basketball with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, I love that everyone just hates the Thunder now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't beat them. They did it the right way, damn it.
Yeah. And by the way, that chinchilla thing he wore yesterday, I love SGA. I really do. And I think he can wear a lot of things. Not that thing.
Huh?
Go look what he wore last night.
SGA wore a chinchilla?
It's ridiculous. And in the presser, you couldn't even like see his face because he had it all over.
Oh,
it's a hood.
That's what the joke was?
And there's like a brooch that like he wore on it too. It's out of control.
I see it. It's
out of control.
It's made out of a chinchilla?
It's some fur. Yeah.
That's a lot of chinchillas.
Yes. Yes, indeed it is.
Okay, I saw people were making jokes on the internet about this. I didn't know that was what it was from.
That is what it was from.
Well, I can tell
last
you
night.
His neck is warm.
You just played basketball, bro. Aren't you sweating? Like, I'd be like hot.
This looks like a child's like teddy bear Halloween costume.
Well, if you get it up on the feed, Kyle, that picture of it, maybe we can show the YouTube chat as well. Sorry, those that are listening, you're going to have to look it up on your own, but it's worth looking up because it is just very weird. Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, number 2. Well, sorry, I got to go back now and see. Oh, yeah, that's right. The NCAA is going to do injury reports, essentially, like the NBA does. I was reading the story. I don't know if it's to help make gambling less of a problem or
wait, no, it's to appease gambling. That's what it is for.
I couldn't understand. Is it to like try and prevent manipulation of results or to make it more transparent? I genuinely don't know. But anyways, they're going to start doing injury reports for March Madness. Fair or foul?
It's the reasoning behind it is foul because it is completely gambling related because they don't want guy whatever to say, I didn't know Kingston Flemings wasn't playing and I put this much money on and blah, 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 blah.
Who cares?
And those are the people that you're truly going to be concerned about because it's only a matter of time. Carmichael Dave talks about this in the morning all the time, and he's right. It's only a matter of time before some sick addict psychopath out there does something terrible because a player didn't cover their spread or whatever. And unfortunately, more because there's so much money to be made, so many leagues are signing up or partnering with this kind of stuff. So, I mean, that's the reason they're doing it.
Yeah, I guess like it's hard for me to say fair on this, but you know, it is what it is. College football already does it. in the regular season. The SEC does, at least, in terms of they have to give injury reports.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like, these players are getting paid now. The whole thing in terms of college athletics has completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we kind of have to say it's fair because that's where we're at. But the whole thing behind it is just weird.
I think it's fair from a competitive standpoint,
Yeah.
but we all know the real reason for it. It's not about the
I know.
competition. It's about the money
It's
on the
about the
competition.
money, which I don't like.
No, they specifically said in the release this was about gambling.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Great.
I couldn't understand if it was they were trying to prevent like games being thrown or if they were trying to like make it more transparent for gamblers. I couldn't tell.
I think it's that part. They're just trying to make it so that there's as little controversy as possible and so that everybody has all the information available for when they light their money on
Yep,
fire.
that's exactly what
That's
it is.
what it is.
Next.
By the way, we can now have the SGA photo up on the
perfect.
screen.
Yeah, put that up. People to enjoy.
So people can see that.
I hope those aren't. What did you say it was? Guinea pigs? Chinchillas?
Chinchillas.
I hope not.
Early dinner is the way to go. I've got thoughts on this.
Ooh.
Early dinner is the way to go.
Ooh.
I secede my time, I suppose.
So yes. It is definitely the way to go.
Okay.
Now-
Like, what's early?
So probably 5. Yeah, 5:30.
I thought that was like the standard time.
No, I think the standard time nowadays is like 6:37.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I only say that because Matt's making some weird face.
No, I was stuck on my headphones. Continue.
Oh,
Your chain is.
his chain was stuck on his headphones, and I thought he was just
Ah.
making some like weird gesture. So I used to do the morning show in Nashville, right? So I'd get up at 4 a.m. So I started to have to eat early.
Uh-huh.
And at first it was weird, but then I realized, man, I feel so much better. My food digests better. I get up in the morning, I don't feel bogged down. And by the way, then when you go to restaurants, you're beating the crowds. And there's no better thing than beating the crowds when you're going out to restaurants. What are you laughing at, Matt?
This is the most.
What are you laughing
This
at?
is the most old person stuff.
Okay, I am kind of old.
I get dinner. It doesn't bloat, and I beat the crowds, and I'm home in time for Jeopardy. Okay.
No, I'm home in time for the Kings.
Well, so
Which makes me even older.
That's a bad idea. You should choose dinner.
That has made me age 20 years.
Yeah.
I cannot agree enough with Kayla. In fact, I'm going to take it a step further.
Oh, boy.
Dinner is not dinner. Dinner is just your third meal of the day. If you want to eat dinner at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, eat dinner at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You want to have lunch at 10 a.m., have lunch at 10 a.m. It's just whatever your third meal of the day is.
Wow.
So, yes. Also, I used to do like intermittent fasting. So, like, you'd go 15 hours without eating.
Crazy.
So it would be like you eat all your meals before 5 o'clock, don't eat again until 8 the next morning, and you're intermittent fasting.
None of us need to intermittent fast on the show.
But then you're hungry at 11 p.m.
No, but you train your mind, your body. Hunger is just a reflex, Matt. Hunger is just based on your normal eating habits. So if you change your eating habit, your hunger will change. Hunger is all mental. Your stomach growling is all mental.
I don't think that part is true. Because why would my stomach growl? It wants
Because
food.
it's used to food at that time or expecting food at that moment. But you can change that by changing your habits.
What's your take on this, Matt?
I mean, I've always been a late dinner person.
Oh, there he goes.
But now that I have a kid,
There he
it's
goes.
like my son's hungry, but then I make him dinner, and then he doesn't eat all the dinner, and then he wants more food right before bed a few
Oh.
hours later.
You have a kid, so you're snacking all day, man.
Yeah, and my wife is very much an early dinner person. Like if I don't
good.
if I don't feed her by 5:30, I'm gonna get
Perfect.
my head bitten off.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah, sure.
Also,
But
Kayla,
I've always been like I'm having dinner at like 7 p.m.
Oh, you're late.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I can't do that. But Kayla, you're absolutely right. Early dinner's great for restaurants too.
It
Empty
is.
restaurant.
It
oh,
really
it's great.
is. 11th North, excuse me. I do not drink Metamucil, nor have I ever tried Metamucil. I have never tried that. It looks disgusting, by the way.
What's your
Isn't it that grainy thing that you mix with water?
Okay, I need your opinion on two things. I need your opinion on two things. What's your opinion on prunes or prune juice?
Disgusting.
Okay, that's good.
Prune
Delicious.
That, huh?
Delicious.
You're a psycho.
Love
What
prunes.
about tapioca pudding?
Ew!
I don't know if I've ever had that.
The texture of tapioca pudding is.
Prunes are great. They make you regular. It's amazing.
They make you regular. I don't want to know what that means.
You know what that means.
I don't want to. Nope. I don't like the term regular. I don't like it.
That's the way to talk about poop without saying poop.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, now that we were talking about tapioca and prunes, it's time for lunch break. And we're going to dive into a conversation about Maxime Reynaud. Hey, he's not much of a secret anymore. Everybody's starting to learn just how good this rookie is. In fact, he's doing something that hasn't been done for 7 years. I'll explain what that is and how Domantas Sabonis plays into his future. Coming up next for lunch break. We're halfway through the show. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In golf, a tee can refer to the area where you hit your opening shot on any hole, or it can be the little piece of wood or plastic that holds your ball off the ground so you can hit your tee shot. Now, if you're not already confused, let me try harder. In earlier times, golfers made tees from little heaps of sand, and the sand was kept in little boxes called tee boxes, which gives us the historical connection and gets us back to where we started. Various types of reusable tees were invented over the years, made of rubber, cork, or paper. But the first commercial tee like we know today was the Ready Tee, invented by an American dentist in 1921. It was white wood with red tops, so they were easy to find. Today's tees are made of wood or plastic and come in many colors, and there are anti-slice tees, friction-free tees, brush tees, flexible tees, and even biodegradable tees. I'm partial to a tee with contrasting color measuring points, so my ball is teed up the same height every time. Check your local pro shop for lots of choices. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision making. Expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship? We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Do you want tickets to see the Sacramento Kings? Good news is we got some for you. We got a pair of tickets to see the Kings take on the Utah Jazz on March 15th.
And Utah's getting all the pro teams now. I'm done with them. Done with the state.
Kayla will not be there because she's done with the Jazz and she's done with all of Utah.
You like jazz?
You have a chance to win at 8 o'clock, noon, and 4 every single day this week. You got the code this morning at 8 a.m. You'll get one again at 4 later today with the Drive Guys. But right now, it's noon. It's the lunch break. And the code word for you to text in to 339-1140, that's 916-339-1140, is basket. Basket.
Spell?
B-A-S-K-E-T.
There you go.
Basket. Text that to 916-339-1140. You'll be entered for a chance to win tickets to see the Kings and Jazz in a riveting matchup between two teams that have...
The Tank Bowl.
Yeah. It's not going to be as bad as Kings Nets, but it's going to be bad. Let me tell you.
It's not going to be fun.
Not going to be fun. But hopefully tonight's game will be fun. The Kings taking on the New Orleans Pelicans inside the Golden One Center. 7 o'clock tip. We'll have game night beginning at 5:30. Then Kings pregame live with Jason Ross and the high flyer Henry Turner begins at 6:30. Game starts at 7 with the G-Man on the call. So we hope you'll stick with us all day long here on Sactown Sports. Right now, though, in order to make it through the rest of the day, you need a good lunch. And this is the lunch break. Before we dive into a conversation about Maxime Reynaud, TC is calling in. Been a little bit since we've heard from TC. What's up, TC?
Matt Kayla, what's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, just tapping in. So I got a different perspective, right? I hear the guy that came on and was talking about Cameron. I'm gonna put it this way: I won't be mad if we drafted Cam Boozer, but he's not the pick for me. AJ is the pick. It's not Peterson. It's not none. I hear what he was saying about Peterson and all that, but to me, AJ is a guy that you need on your team. 6'9" wing, not a 6'6" guard that barely averages 2 assists. That maybe that's a whole other story. We've been doing a bunch of talking, but that's nitpicking, right? But AJ is the pick in my opinion. Also, you have to trade if it's Keegan or whoever. We're talking about you have to try to get within the top 15 picks. You're going to have to either holler at the Bucks or you're going to have to do that old Sam Presti, Scott Perry relationship trade because they got number 12 or number 13. They slated that right now. You have to get back into the first round. That's like the number one thing for Perry other than hitting our lottery pick.
Do you have your eye on anybody in particular, TC, that you want them to move back in and get?
A-Cuff.
Yeah, let's go, TC!
But listen, I've been on A-Cuff. A lot of people just coming around to that kid. They got another cat too, Brazil. Their center that's almost like Anthony Davis, but he might be later in the second round or something. That's another pick. But I'm trading in, trying to get A-Cuff or the boy from Arizona, Barrows, because you can kill 2 birds in 1 stone in this draft. You can get your generational talent wing, and you also can get your generational talent point guard. That's important. Keegan will have to go, bro.
Well, if it's A-Cuff, you're going to have to probably move back into the top 8, maybe top 9 at best. So, that's going to be a pricey. It's going to be a pricey pick. Let's just do a tankathon sim real quick. I already did it.
Tank it.
So the Kings end up at 4. Indiana wins. Brooklyn 2. Chicago 3. Kings at 4. Whatever. Washington at 5. The reason we did this is to let's look at that 6, 7, 8, 9 range. Utah's at 6. Atlanta is at 7 by way of New Orleans. Dallas at 8. Memphis at 9. Who from those teams are you calling and you trying to get that pick from them? Are you calling Dallas? They've got Cooper Flagg. You want Keegan Murray next to Cooper Flagg plus a future draft pick? Give us 8. You go out and get A-Cuff. Calling Memphis. Memphis is probably not trading their pick.
Probably
they very much
not.
want to take a talent.
Dallas, it's also tough because they don't have their pick for the next 4 years.
That's true. But if you trade on draft night and say, here's Keegan Murray to pair next to Cooper Flagg, and we'll give you a draft pick over the next 4 years.
Okay. I could do that.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea if Dallas would be interested in that at all because they might love an A-cuff to Kyrie is who knows what version of Kyrie's coming back, and they might like that to pair with Cooper Flag as their point guard of the future going forward. I have no idea. But hypothetically, hey, there's a scenario.
By the way,
for
Jaw's probably gone.
Oh, well.
Eventually.
Yeah. I think they would prefer for Jaw to be gone.
What if we take Jaw off their hands and get their draft pick?
We take Jaw off their hands so that he can be the backup to A-cuff?
Goodness. That'd be a wild ride.
I don't think Jaw would be very happy, but whatever.
But 2-point guards, better than 0.
That's true. That is very true. So the Sacramento Kings, there's not a lot from this season that's gone right.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot from this season that's been good or a bright spot, to say the least. But Maxime Reynaud is no longer the best kept secret in Sacramento. People are starting to really pay attention to what this second-round pick out of Stanford is doing. This French center who, against Phoenix, had 22 points, 10 of 12 from the field, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Over the last 10 games, Max is averaging 15.6 points, 10.6 rebounds, is shooting 61% from the field, and a 65% true shooting percentage. For those of you who don't know what the true shooting percentage is, essentially they take all your 2-point field goals, your 3-point field goals, and your free throw percentage and combine it all. So your true shooting percentage is just how you shoot, period.
Okay.
Right? 65% is really good. He is the first rookie since number 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton to do that. So that's 7 years.
Dang.
The first rookie to do that. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's a center. It's another center.
Mm-hmm.
But to be a good center in this league, and I know DeAndre Ayton's not the most glowing example. His career has been a little rocky, and he should have never been the number 1 overall pick in that draft that year. But regardless, Max is doing something that we haven't seen from a rookie center or from a rookie period in 7 years.
That's
And
impressive.
again, you drafted him 42nd overall.
Well, Matt, not only that, but, and you've told us the story of, and we should know, you're very smart here. If you're a Sacramento Kings fan, you understand the NBA, and you know what that second round sometimes means. Like you've mentioned it on the show. Sometimes these guys go where they want to go.
It's more negotiation than it is draft at that point.
Exactly. And so, I think you love it because you knew this guy wanted to be here. But what's so crazy about Maxime is I don't even think they thought this was even going to be close to what he would do this year for the fact that I don't think they expected Sabonis to be as banged up as Sabonis was.
Sure.
And so as weird as this all seems and as bad as this year has been, I truly do believe there's little lights that have been turned on that will lead to something better. And this is one of them. To be able to get him this experience in his first year and to see that growth and to see those numbers, there's nothing better than real life experience on the floor, learning live. And that's what he's done. And I really do truly think it's going to benefit not only him, but this team moving forward.
What's exciting about Max, too, is you can see clear areas of his game where he should get better, right? He came out of college as a 3-point shooting threat. We have not seen that at all this season. Now, part of that, I think, is by design. Another part of that is he's got to speed that jumper up a little bit. It's a bit slow.
Yeah.
And Max, love you, dude. No one's buying the pump fake.
No.
you can stop doing it. Nobody's buying it. But
or maybe he's just not going to be a 3-point shooter in the league.
He very well may not, but that is a skill that he's had that you would probably like to take advantage of because having anybody to space the floor is a good thing to have. The Kings need more 3-point shooting, period. So finding a way to incorporate that 3-point shot more, you can see that happening. In theory, while Max I don't think is ever going to get big, he's going to get stronger. He should get stronger.
Yeah.
So that should help with his ability to fight for boards and fight down low. And then you're expecting improvement as a shot blocker. Max has actually been really good getting in passing lanes, using his wingspan to deflect, get tips, get steals, create steals. That's been awesome. We need to see that block number come up. The comp that I continue to use and I will always use because it's been what Sacramento has needed for a long time is Brooke Lopez. Find a way to get Brooke Lopez light out of Maxime Reynaud. Find a way to turn him into a 7-foot floor spacing pick and roll threat who protects the rim at a high level. If you get that, Maxime Reynaud is a starting center in this league. Maybe he's not there yet, but that's good. You don't want your
He's
rookie
ahead of schedule, Matt.
You don't want your rookie season to be the best of your career.
Right.
And we saw that already with like a Tyreek Evans, for example. We've seen that before. You don't want to peak too early. Max is not peaking too early.
No, he's not. And I don't know, maybe you'll get to this in just a second, but that's why I'm a little bit worried about next year, because I want Max to continue to have the minutes, and I want Max to continue to be able to better his game in the ways that you just mentioned. Because Max, to me, could very well be the future center. And I know we're a little early in deciding that, but what happens when maybe things change next year and Sabonis is healthy? And I'm a little hesitant to know like how that plan changes and how that will affect the young guy.
Yeah, if Domantas Sabonis is here and healthy, Max goes immediately back to being the backup center.
I don't really like that.
And
because unless he can shoot the three, there's no point in them playing together.
I know.
But even if he could shoot the three, are you starting Max at the 4 instead of a Keegan DeAndre Hunter hybrid or a Keegan and AJ DeBonsa hybrid? Like, you're not. As long as Domantas Sabonis is here, Maxime Reynaud is coming off the bench.
I know.
We haven't even talked about Dylan Cardwell as well. Dylan is going to be maybe that energy boost, very matchup-specific center that just comes in and impacts a game. And we've seen the Kings experiment with the 2 center lineups before, and we've seen Max and Dylan share the floor together, and it's actually worked.
It's actually been good.
It's worked at times. We've also seen Sabonis and Dylan Cardwell share the floor together. And surprisingly, spacing-wise, I thought it would be terrible, but it looked okay in very limited stretches. But yes, there is an easy argument to make that Domantas Sabonis being here will hold Max back a little bit, or will stand in his way to continue to get the minutes and continue to get the opportunity that he deserves. However, there is another side of that coin that I'm not here yet.
Okay.
But there is such a thing as the Sacramento Kings moving too quickly. The Kings are playing Max this many minutes right now out of necessity because Sabonis is completely banged up. I don't believe the Kings are trading Sabonis, period, unless they feel they're getting a good deal. So having Max on the roster maybe makes them more willing to move Domas, but not more willing to just give him away. Right? I think the Kings are going to shop Domas regardless. I think the Kings are going to shop damn near everybody, including Keegan. I think they will field, at the very least, phone calls for Keegan to see, whether on draft night or whatever, what they could potentially get. That doesn't mean they're going to pull the trigger on anything, but I think the Kings are going to be open for business this summer for literally anybody because financially they need to.
They need to be, yeah.
But what you have to be just a little bit cognizant of, Kayla, is you don't want to give Max the keys too early at that center position and force him into something that either he's not ready for or something that just isn't the right fit necessarily for him. Again, I'm not worried about that right now, but I do think that's something that Scott Perry has to be cognizant of. Max is doing really well right now. He's a second-round pick, getting a lot of minutes, playing well, benefiting from playing with veterans like Russell Westbrook, and no team is really game planning for him. The sophomore slump is a real thing because teams will now know what Maxime brings to the table. And unless he gets stronger, unless his touch around the rim gets better, or he adds that three-point shot to his game, if Max is your starting center on a nightly basis, he is going to be targeted. And he has to prove that he's ready for that, regardless of if the Kings are winning games next season or not.
So, pretty much Scott Perry has a lot of work to do this offseason with all the stuff you're saying. And look, Max got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
He's got a lot of work to, he's got some games to go, which, again, I know we've talked about the ultimate tank, and maybe do you take your most consistent player right now out? I say keep him in and continue to let him do his thing.
That's a good argument.
But I get what you're saying with that, Matt. But it is going to be fascinating to see, what are the things that they feel Max has got to check, and how do they balance that coming into next season if, in fact, Domas is on the roster? And, of course, Domas is going to start. But how do you then continue to develop Max and not make him go backwards?
That's a good point.
Right?
And your argument is a good one. If likely next year the Sacramento Kings aren't going to be competing for anything. Put Max out there, give him starter minutes, and let him to continue to figure it out. And if the worst case scenario in theory is, oh, wait a minute, we're ahead of schedule, we're winning too many games because Max is actually playing well, continuing to play well, I guess that's a good problem to have, and you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. The other worst case scenario is, oh, maybe we jumped the gun a bit on Max and he's not ready for this, and now teams are forcing him into positions that he doesn't necessarily like, forcing him to play more on the perimeter, and it's not working out. But you'll only know that by seeing it. The one thing that you said, though, about Max has some work to do, the good news is I can tell you firsthand because we were told directly, like, Max doesn't stop working.
That's what I love.
When the Kings drafted Max, he came to Sacramento, and there was like a 2 or 3 day period before they actually had his official introductory press conference because Max got there a whole hell of a lot quicker than everybody else did because he was going to school at Stanford. It's right down the road. Max was already in the gym, in the practice facility, getting work in multiple times a day. Like, Max is going to work.
I love that.
I'm very excited to see what Maxime Reynaud, Nick Clifford, and Dylan Cardwell look like, not just in the Cali Classic, but to start training camp next year. I'm very curious how they continue to work on their games.
No, same here. And that's why it is, I'm flashing back to even a month ago when I think we posed the question to our listeners, like, what are you looking for the rest of the season? And there's not a lot to answer with that. But we have always been consistent with we just want to continue to see some of these young players, and there's not a ton of them, I get that, but some of these young players, continue to do their thing. And I really, truly feel right now, besides Dylan Cardwell, unfortunately got injured, and maybe he'll be back here soon, we are doing that, and we are saying and being able to have positive conversations around that. It's not perfect by any means, but it is kind of like we're looking for the future. And these are things that we wouldn't have had necessarily if they were a play-in team right now.
Right. And if Domantas Sabonis is playing, we're all feeling like, oh, Max is probably going to be a good rotational player in this league. Now it's, can Max actually be a starting center in this league?
Yeah, we have a little bit more of a like, oh, okay, this could actually work.
He's risen his own ceiling.
Yeah.
The other part, too, that I think is interesting, I remember talking with Chris Watkins about this, where it's like, is Max going to be a big man or is he going to be a tall man kind of in the league? And the easy way I phrase it is like, are you going to be Chet Holmgren, where you're blocking shots and playing on the perimeter sometimes? Or are you going to be Hartenstein, where you're getting big and you're hitting the push shots and you're doing stuff like that? Because if the three-point shot never does develop, he can still have a hugely successful career. It's just not going to be in the Brook Lopez mold.
Right, but Max is a very finesse player, not a physical player. Now, he's leaned more into the physicality as of late, but Max's instinct is finesse. And I don't think you're going to fundamentally change who Max is as a player, especially when you have Dylan Cardwell next to him, who is all about the physicality.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the allure, part of the appeal, is you've got your Mitchell Robinson type or beef stew type in Dylan Cardwell, and then you have your finesse Brook Lopez, Chet Holmgren, if you're talking absolute ceiling type center in Max. I would rather the Kings lean into who Max has always been and who he is naturally. He can get stronger and needs to get stronger regardless. Just so he can stay on the floor.
Yeah.
But that's just the tough part, though, is like if you're going to play that style, you do have to be able to stretch the floor. You sometimes got to guard on the perimeter. Like if you're going to be a center in the NBA, you got to be beefy and you got to be able to mess with the Hartensteins and the Karl Anthony Townses and guys like that.
I would be very concerned if the plan for Max in the offseason is, hey, let's pack him with protein and beef him up. You're changing who he is fundamentally as a player. I don't like that one bit. There is such thing as adding too much muscle. There is such thing as adding too much weight to where
it can actually change your shot, too.
It changes who you are.
Yeah.
Max himself is a good pick-and-roll threat. He has been a good pick-and-roll threat. The reason why the Kings use Max in the pick-and-roll primarily, though, is because the pick-and-roll is the only thing the Sacramento Kings do with any sort of effectiveness.
Which we had that convo yesterday.
We had that conversation yesterday. It's because the Kings' offense is extremely one-dimensional. Thankfully, a one-dimensional offense works for a rookie who's just trying to learn. But you gotta work on inside out. You gotta work on spacing the floor. You gotta work on knocking down that corner three, making offenses pay. Especially if you bring in a Darren Peterson or an AJ DeBonsa or a star whose primary responsibility is going to be scoring and creating for themselves with the amount of attention that they're going to be drawing on defense. You best believe Neek Clifford and Maxime Reynaud better be ready in the corner or on the wing to catch and shoot. Same thing with Keegan Murray. That's how that's fundamental modern basketball 101. So Max has a jumper. We know he has it.
I know, right?
To not utilize that and find a way to incorporate that more would be, I think, silly.
I think
by
they,
the
and
Kings.
I truly think that they will. And I think that maybe, like you said, the way that it's kind of played its course this year in terms of just them not expecting him to play that much, and with what he's out there, lineup wise with on any given night, it's kind of gone in that direction where maybe he's not been allowed to experiment back with what he did at Stanford and being that type of. But I don't see how, I'm with you, I don't see how they just completely take that away. Like, if anything, they want to add that back into his game.
Yeah.
And they should.
Gary wants to get involved in this conversation. What up, Gary? Happy Thursday.
Thursday. Hey, I know it was only a few games because of injuries, but I was very excited when they took Sabonis and basically put him on the floor with Dylan Cardwell and or with Max. And it seemed like we had those three guys playing, one of them playing power forward and one of them playing center. It looked really good. And I was, I know it was a really short window. What do you guys think about that moving forward into next year, assuming we don't get like a Cam Boozer or somebody in the power forward spot?
Great, Gary. Yeah. Appreciate the call. Great question. That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan, because you got these guys here. Again, there's no reason to believe Domantas Sabonis will not be here next season. The Kings are going to shop him. The Kings are going to look for value for him if they can get it in the form of draft picks or getting off of his contract, getting some player back in return that's not a horrible contract. Like what's his name that we were talking about with the Toronto Raptors? Blanking on his name for some reason. You're going to look to move on from Sabonis naturally. But the likelihood of getting off of Sabonis is not going to be very high. So if you're bringing Domantas Sabonis, Maxime Reynaud, and Dylan Cardwell as your center rotation into next season, and all three of them can play, you have to find a way to incorporate the three of them together. You can mix and match. And one of the natural ways to do that is to put Max on the perimeter more.
Exactly.
One of the natural ways to do that is have Dylan Cardwell feast at the rim.
Yep.
And have Domantas Sabonis be the high post, top of the key, dribble handoff threat that he's always been. So that's what we're going to see. That's what we have to see, unless one of them is just going to sit there on the bench and rot. Before we go to break, Trey wants to have a conversation about the NBA draft. What's up, Trey? Thanks for calling.
Matt and Kayla, what's going on?
What's going on, Trey?
Hey, that's what I got. Everybody is talking about the top three in Peterson, DeBansa, and Boozer, but what about Caleb Wilson? I mean, this dude is, like, from what I done seen, he's that guy. You know what I mean? He's 6'10", averaging 19 points a game, almost 10 rebounds, and then he stands out with, like, leading the nation in dunks. I like that he hunts for dunks on people, averaging 1.45 blocks a game. I mean, him next to Keegan Murray, man, that just seemed like that would be perfect for me, you know what I'm saying? But then the pressure come when you sitting at number one. Like, if we land the number one pick, I get it. You got to go with AJ DeBonsa. I get it. But if I'm landing at 3 or 4, I'm picking, Caleb Wilson.
Trey, let me tell you, because I can tell you firsthand, Caleb Wilson is everything the Sacramento Kings have been looking for.
By the way, he's a dog.
Yeah, everything the Kings have wanted in years past, Caleb Wilson is it.
Yes, sir.
I think the hesitation is, if there is any, or the reason why we're hearing Caleb talked about at the 4 spot instead of like 1 or 2, is because in the Kings sense, they're looking for the generational star. And in the NBA sense, when you have such a talented draft class in general, like this one is, you're looking for your superstar at the head of that class. And while Caleb Wilson is really, really good and would arguably be a top 1 or 2 pick in other drafts, same thing we've said about Cam Boozer, Peterson or A.J. DeBonsa have that generational Kevin Durant, next superstar, taking the torch from LeBron James type potential. Doesn't mean they're going to reach it, of course. But when you have these stacked draft classes, you're trying to find the biggest, shiniest diamond. And the Kings need the biggest, shiniest diamond to restart their franchise right now. That's where I think the difference is with a Caleb Wilson. But, hey.
There's not much, though.
If you were to tell me, Matt, on draft night, I guarantee you Caleb Wilson is going to be a Sacramento King, I'm thrilled. I think Caleb Wilson would be fantastic. Like he said, next to Keegan Murray, that would allow Keegan to purely play that 3 spot.
Got that size now.
Which is where a lot of people think Keegan should play. Hey, there's a good argument to be made for that. Let me tell you. And I know a lot of people in Sacramento are big fans of Caleb Wilson. We will take the break. When we come back, switching gears to the San Francisco 49ers. Some interesting comments from NFL insider Louis Lake Jr. It's kind of about Brandon Ayuk, but then he throws in a little line that, I'll be honest, I ain't buying at all.
And it's not landing well.
We're talking, it's not.
No.
Oh, boy. We'll talk Niners, and then it's time for Kayla's 2-minute drill. Let's talk some football. Plus, we have Alex Pavlovich of from NBC Sports, covers the San Francisco Giants. He joins us to talk Giants baseball, and Logan Webb pitching in the World Baseball Classic tomorrow. That's all coming up still here on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7.
Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
On yesterday's show, we had a really positive conversation about the San Francisco Niners and head coach Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Because of the comments of Trent Williams, who sang the praises of Kyle and how respected he is around the league, how respected he is in that locker room. 24 hours later, Kayla, and all of a sudden, here comes the exact opposite. This caught your eye. You sent it my way. I hate it. But I know you've got thoughts on it as well if you want to set it up. Kyle, we have the audio for it too, correct? Or did we get any audio for it? No, we didn't. Okay.
Oh, we don't have the audio?
I guess we do not.
Yeah, if you can, we can. I think did I not put that on there? I thought I pasted it. It's in the spillover. Yeah, so it's in the spillover. So I'll set it up real quick. So there was a podcast, a Commanders podcast, that clearly Brandon Ayuk is tied to the Commanders right now. He has a relationship with Jaden Daniels.
He's been there.
Quarterback.
He's been tied there for years.
He's been tied there for years.
Yep.
We all know this. So Louis Lake Jr., he's like an NFL insider. He does stuff on ESPN radio.
Yeah.
He came on the show and supposedly has talked to some people, Ayuk probably, and this is what he had to say on the podcast.
Brandon Ayuk would be a perfect complement for Terry right now.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I was told, that knee's good. He's healthy.
Okay, yeah, I was just about to say, I know you heard something. I know you spoke to somebody out there. But I need to know. Okay, so the knee's good. We good up here too?
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's fine. He just did not want to be out there.
New surroundings.
I've heard a lot of guys don't want to be out there. I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's kind of a thing, man. So, but he just orchestrated his to perfection. He forfeited a lot of money to do this, but I think for him to pair up with his boy and be a valuable asset with his boy, in Washington, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, every time Adam would speak, he kept saying, tampering. I can, he's under contract. We can't talk about another player, but you can see it. You can see it in his face.
So,
bro.
Okay. The rest of that was about, again, the premise of this conversation is Ayuk going to the Washington Commanders.
Right. To, again, pair up with his former college teammate. Brandon Ayuk.
But the part we care about there is I would expect Brandon Ayuk to not say great things about San Francisco, Santa Clara. We know he wanted out of there. We know the relationship completely deteriorated, fell apart,
they hated
whatever.
each other.
A lot of guys want out of there.
I'm sorry. I'm like, when I heard that, I immediately tweeted it out. And by the way, it's gotten a lot of people commenting who are like, oh, that's convenient. Like, Trent Williams just went out and praised Kyle Shanahan, and Trent Williams is a no BS kind of guy. And then you have Brandon Ayuk, who continues to, I feel like, try to make his situation better. And look, go get your money, whatever. I'm not going to poo-poo your chance to go play somewhere else, but don't freaking dog or at least don't speak for other players. And maybe in some alternate world this is true, but I find a really, really hard time believing that when at least the main role players of the San Francisco 49ers have done nothing but talk about the organization and praise it, and talk about Kyle Shanahan and the coaches and praise it. I covered Azeez Al-Shaair, who was pretty much mentored by Fred Warner, and then he went to the Titans. Now he's with the Houston Texans. We had conversations, not even on the record about the Niners. And let me just tell you, they were extremely positive.
The Niners have a reputation around the league of being a fantastic organization. We heard the comments of Trent Williams about Kyle Shanahan as the coach. And by the way, this is while Trent Williams is in an active contract dispute / conversation with the Niners that he's saying this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not doing PR for the Niners to get out in front of any comments that Brandon Ayuk has made. Also, Brandon Ayuk is one of our own. He went to Sierra College.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
I
nothing
do.
wrong with Brandon Ayuk.
We're seeing Brandon Ayuk do some crazy things, like flying past Levi Stadium in his car going a billion miles per hour and stuff like that too. So I understand if Brandon Ayuk does not trust the Niners because of his injuries, does not like how things ended there. I get it. And I know there's no such thing as everything is peachy, happy locker room, as everybody is happy in the locker room all at the same time. I'm sure there was a time or two that Brandon was there and he said something to a teammate about something he didn't like about Shanahan or the Niners, and they also complained back to him because that's a natural human thing. Just because I love where I work. I love my coworkers.
Yeah.
Even most of my coworkers are my friends.
Yeah.
I'll still, if they annoy me one day, I'll still say something like,
sure,
they're loud, shut up.
Yeah.
And I know that's said about me. It happens all the time.
At least we're all transparent with it.
I don't buy at all that there's an idea that there is a conglomerate of players that matter or a group that really matters in San Francisco that's we're trying to get out of here because this place sucks. I don't buy that for a second. There's been no reason to believe that. And I have nothing against Lewis Lake Jr. I don't know if he was told things or not. But it's clear he's talking to Brandon Ayuk or people around Brandon Ayuk.
Very clear.
So I would expect there to be negative coming from that camp. But I don't think there's negative commentary coming out of the 49ers locker room right now about that organization. I don't buy that for a second.
And I think, and I know Steven in the YouTube chat, which, by the way, if you're a listener and you want to check us out on YouTube, you can do that as well and join the conversation. He kind of said, something along the lines of, he said 49ers always gave that vibe. It's a mess. Like, I don't know, Steven, if you were meaning, and clarify this in the chat and I'll get to you. I don't know if you mean they've always had a good vibe, or you've actually been under the impression there's a bad vibe there. And what I'll say, if it's the bad vibe part, are you meaning with maybe some of the contract negotiations that have gone on there where there's been some talk about them maybe not, paying players right away? I don't know if that's maybe what he means with the mess, because I don't think the organization as a whole by any means is a mess. And that's coming from people I know that have played there.
Yes.
So again, just clarify it, Stephen.
And I'm not an insider. Oh, I think it's very clear what Steven's saying, because he has other messages where he's basically, he's calling the 49ers a bad organization.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not an NFL insider the same way that many of these guys are. I'm not a Niners insider, but I covered training camp for the Niners every single year over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Every single time, vibes have been great. Conversations have been great. I've covered a number of Niner games, been in that locker room after tough losses. I was there after they lost the Super Bowl. And I've never gotten an inkling of any sort of frustration with the Niners beyond contract dispute stuff. Beyond like when Deebo Samuel was negotiating with the Niners. And then Nick Bosa was negotiating with the Niners. Brandon Ayuk was negotiating with the Niners. Juwan Jennings. And people might talk about, well, wasn't there a spat between Juwan Jennings and Kyle Shanahan, or didn't these things happen from time? Yes, in the heat of the moment, in a very physical, very important football game, stuff like that is going to happen. But if you have a disagreement, that doesn't mean you hate one another or that you want to get out of the organization. I'm saying I've had no reason to believe, being around that organization, not super closely, but being around that organization for the last 4 years, I've never gotten an inkling of anything like what is being suggested from Lewis Lake Jr., who's saying there's groups of players that definitely want out of there.
And I say that was weird too, because it kind of came out of the blue. Like, if you're talking about Ayuk and how he's moving on and how he has a good opportunity to go to Washington, I totally get you. Like, that's cool. Good for Ayuk. I hope it works out over there. But to drag the 49ers and to drag other players, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're dragging other players into this conversation that there's stuff that doesn't, that's not going on, that's right there. Mm-hmm. It's a mess or whatever. I don't think that's fair and accurate. And then let me say one more thing to this point.
Sure.
Working with an NFL team for 8 years, where I was there every single day, covering the locker room, talking with players, often on the record. When the Titans got really, really bad and things got really frustrating, that place crumbled. What just happened last year with the 49ers? It was a mess in terms of injuries, players going down, other players expected to step up, players having to play out of position in some ways. And what did they do? They overcome more than any odds we've seen many teams do in the past to get to where they got to. That does not happen if players do not buy in and if players do not respect the organization, period.
Kayla's just getting started. More football talk coming your way in the form of Kayla's 2-minute drill. That's coming up after this break here on Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7.
Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-44 4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go Inc.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
At Big O Tires, we have the team of experts to service all your car's needs. Now through March 15th, get $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexa, Nitto, or Toyo tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra. Not going to go to offers. See your locally owned Big O dealer for pricing.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, you thought just because the Niner segment is over that means football talk is over? Ha! You must not be listening enough.
Right.
Because every single day at 12:44 now, it's time for Kayla's 2-minute drill.
Ooh, that music. It gets me going here. All right, yeah, it's time for the 2-minute drill, and I feel like last 2 weeks there's just been so much going on because we're getting close to the new league year, March 11th. People are getting cut left and right. It's about free agency time starting to ramp up here soon. So my first headline, no more. That is right. It was announced this morning by Adam Schefter of ESPN that DJ Moore is being traded by the Chicago Bears. They are trading him to the Buffalo Bills to join Josh Allen. In exchange for, the Bears are getting the 2026 second-round pick from the Bills. And then Bills are obviously getting DJ Moore, and then they're also getting a fifth-rounder in the 2026 draft. So this year. This is, I think, in my eyes, a win for Chicago because...
Really?
Yes. DJ Moore, just to give his numbers last year, DJ Moore is like a fine wide receiver. He's fine.
He's loved there in Chicago.
He is loved there. He is. Last year, though, 17 games, so played all games, was healthy, obviously was a good older veteran player. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not over the hill. He's 28. But an older veteran in terms of wide receivers. Had 50 receptions, 682 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So pretty decent numbers.
Fine numbers.
They have a lot of offensive weapons on the Bears team.
Okay.
So the Bears didn't really need him at this point. They have a lot of young talent to help out Caleb Williams. There we go. And so a second-round pick for a 28-year-old wide receiver that's kind of like your 3 there.
Yep.
I think it's really good because you can get some really good second-round value.
Well, that's what I wonder is they do have good weapons offensively. Do they prioritize trying to find another receiver in the early rounds?
No.
Or do they just go, we're good, and now I'm prioritizing defense, probably?
Yes.
Rome
I think
Odunze
so.
time.
Rome Odunze, you've got the Missouri, it's skipping
Luther.
Luther Burden.
I like
you
Rome, but...
Look, they're all
Am I missing something?
They're all growing together, though. They're all so
Yeah.
young. And
He
you
was
got
just
those
hurt last
two tight ends. And then you got a running back. I mean, they got a lot going on there.
Yeah, I just think... So, I hear you completely.
Yeah.
The only concern that I have is that offense was your strength.
Yeah.
And DJ Moore, he wasn't the feature of your offense, but he was a major part of it.
Sure.
And that you're putting a lot of faith in those younger guys, which is fine to do if you feel good about it. And obviously the Bears do enough to pull the trigger and make this move. But you better hit with those draft picks on some defensive pieces because I just feel the offense got a little bit weaker, and that's such a strength of the Bears. But I could be missing something.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I mean, and remember, their head coach is an offensive mind. So that's his specialty. So I think he's putting his faith in these younger players to grow together as an offensive core. The problem that they might have, guys, in terms of like they need to fix this sooner than later, Drury Day in Chicago. That is because at the age of 27, what is it with centers this year? At the age of 27, he just signed a 3-year deal with $42 million last year. Drew Dahlman is retiring. And he came out yesterday and said this. He said there's not a lot to it. There hasn't been anything that's come out why he's retiring. You guys, they went out and improved the interior line. That is why Caleb Williams was having success last year, because they went out and improved specifically the interior line. Now you got your center who built all this rapport with Caleb Williams and the line, and he's retiring at 27. Dahlman had the 8th highest pass block win rate in all 17 games. In terms of a center, it's pretty good. And so now you got to go out and find a center. Luckily, there's been the Titans that have released their center. The Commanders released their center recently. You've got Linderbaum out there that they're not going to go. That's too expensive. But you got to fix that real quick.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I mean, to retire at 27,
27?
to walk away from that much money, and you're on the upswing with what the Bears are doing.
So I don't know if you guys remember this clip from years ago where Jason Kelsey was talking about the tush push and what happens when you're in that pile. And Kelsey was basically like, the thing that's going through my head is just F my life.
Yep.
Because it's just awful to be a center at the center of collisions happening all over again.
Yeah.
Playing center's got to be like the worst position because you're getting hit by defensive tackles.
point.
You're getting hit by defensive ends. You've got guards and your head's down and it's got to bob back up. Like the centers always retire early. I can't remember his name. He does sports radio in San Diego now. Chargers center retired young.
Yep.
Frank Ragnow just retired young. Jason Kelsey retired young.
Yeah.
Being a center's got to suck in the NFL.
You wouldn't think so, but it is, and they don't get as much light too on when they have success. All right, next subject. As Aaron turns, that is right. He should have his own soap opera because quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he's undecided about his future.
Of course he is. Drag it
right?
out, pal.
Here he goes again. So he was on Pat McAfee yesterday. Go surprise, no surprise there. He starts to talk about how he's had a little bit of conversation, but there's no deal in works right now. But here's his thoughts on Mike McCarthy, and I think a big reason why they would bring him back or he would go back to play quarterback.
So I saw some of the stuff you've written about Mike, and I just think, one, he doesn't give a about that. Two, it's majority of his negative thing about Mike. I mean, I don't give a about how old he is, how long he's been in the league, or the trend of the new young, play caller who's been on the staff of one of the Shanahan disciples. Like, it seems like that's kind of the hot thing. I get that. Like, there's a lot of great scheme in there, but there's something to an old school organization. The Pittsburgh Steelers definitely are, just like the Green Bay Packers were. And bringing in a guy not only who brings accountability and in a program that's proven to work at multiple places now.
He's just grumpy. He's grumpy all the time.
He is. He's like,
I guess
do you want to play?
I guess he's having his coaches back, I suppose, or potential coaches back, I suppose.
His former coaches back.
Former and now potentially still, but maybe not if he's undecided because he's going to drag it out and go to his cabin in the woods or whatever and then wait till the national headlines or waiting to see if he's going to make the decision. Then he makes the decision. Everyone's like, oh, it's underwhelming.
Just retire. right?
I don't think he's gonna.
I think he loves this. I actually think he likes being on his own soap opera.
Yeah, I think he's playing the game.
He loves all of this leading up to here because here we are talking about it.
Yeah, he loves it.
But the one thing, Kyle, real quick, the one thing I love about Aaron, what he said is, and I don't agree with Aaron much, but I do understand like having some of that still old coach mentality in the league. Like
Old
you
school,
can't, you have to have some staff around you that supports it. But I understand, like it doesn't have to all be the new offensive-minded young coach. Like that would be ridiculous if that's all we had in the league.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a difference between that and Mike McCarthy, which is like Mike McCarthy is now old school by NFL standards. I mean, it's been he got hired 21 years ago or something like that. But I mean, the Steelers part too. It's like unless you can find better, just let it wait out and sign Aaron Rodgers. I mean, what are you going to do? Sign Geno Smith otherwise? Like, it's not, unless you can find better, then just wait it out and see if you get anything other than Rodgers. You know it's always there.
There's also there's a difference between old school and outdated. There's a big difference between those. Old school can be, this is how we used to do it, but it still works. Outdated is, you got to get with the times because the league has moved past you.
Mhm.
That's the question when it comes to with McCarthy, I suppose.
Yeah, and I'm just curious. He's a Pittsburgh guy. Like, he's worked for 3 now of the most prestigious NFL organizations. The Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, and now the Steelers. Like, that's pretty crazy. Interested to see what he does there. Finally, deal in the works. So, yes, Matthew Stafford announced on, I believe it was the NFL awards night, the honors, that he was coming back after his speech when he won MVP. He's coming off his best season. And he's going to be playing for the Rams this next year. They're working out a deal, though. They've, tweaked his deal the past couple of years, so they're still kind of going back and forth on what that's going to be. I'm just curious, does he say this is my final year? Do they do a 2-year deal? How much does Matthew really feel like he has in the tank? Because they came so close last year, and you had your best year. How do you top that? That's going to be really hard to top.
Yeah, but I don't blame him for coming back at a time where the Rams are still right there.
Yeah.
And you're in the most competitive division in football. I don't think Matt Stafford has to one-up himself in order for the Rams to get where they're trying to get. I think it's ultimately up to the Rams to shore up the edges, improve the other areas, and just expect Matt Stafford to just be good to great. He doesn't have to be the MVP. He shouldn't have to be the MVP for you to win a title, or likely it's not happening again. But I still think Matt Stafford is a damn good quarterback. He still feels that way, obviously. It's up to the Rams to put enough around him to make him a Super Bowl winning quarterback again.
And they're working on it, and I think the biggest thing they're working on is the defensive side of the ball. I think that if their defense just was a little better on the back end, which they just made the move yesterday with Kansas City, then maybe they can compete further and compete because they're in the NFC West. It's the hardest division, and it's unfair for these great teams besides Arizona because they're all battling each other when it all comes down to it. So it's you're making these little tweaks in the offseason, but you're right. If they already still have the quarterback that's kind of been their dude, they just need to do some things here and there to tweak it. And I feel like just the defense is what they need to do. So work on. That's it. That's a 2-minute drill.
You are now up to date on everything that's happening in the NFL, and there will be even more coming your way 24 hours from today. But in just a couple minutes, Alex Pavlovich from NBC Sports Bay Area. He covers the San Francisco Giants, and he joins us next to preview this Giants season and the World Baseball Classic with Logan Webb on the bump. That's to start the final hour of the show here. Matt and Kayla on a Thursday, Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. Hundreds of boats and RVs, all in one place. From wakeboard boats and pontoon boats to motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, sprinter vans, plus fishing boats and ATVs. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies.
Big air and edge of your seat thrills the whole family will love. April 18th, international comedy star Russell Peters delivers a night of sharp, non-stop laughs at Thunder Valley. On May 1st, the iconic James Taylor performs live at Tahoe Blue Event Center for an evening of timeless songs and unforgettable moments. Friday, June 12th, country star Keith Urban brings his electrifying live show to the Nugget Event Center in Reno. And on August 16th, Kane Brown takes over Ironstone Amphitheater in Murphys for a summer night packed with chart-topping country hits, concerts, comedy, and can't miss live entertainment. Find your next big event now on the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Kayla, what the hell's wrong with your baseball team?
Don't remind me. I just looked up and I about puked.
Kyle Ledbetter's San Diego Padres are up 12-0 on the Mariners.
Spring training.
And the second inning just ended.
It's spring training.
Hey,
and
get
they've
him
got
in
some
now.
guys at the WBC.
Oh, that's right. Half of Seattle's roster is playing in the WBC. Oh,
yeah, the Padres' top 3 hitters are on the Dominican team.
Oh, shush it, Kyle.
Also, it's 13-0.
It's 13.
Thanks. I feel so much better.
Feel worse. Well, the San Francisco Giants were on the wrong end of a beatdown fairly recently. However, it was at the hands of the USA team for the World Baseball Classic. So there's a little bit of a built-in excuse there. And the Giants have their top guy, Logan Webb, who is pitching for Team USA. He will be starting for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic tomorrow. We are joined right now by, from NBC Sports Bay Area, Alex Pavlovich, so nice enough to take the time with us to talk, not just the World Baseball Classic, but to preview this San Francisco Giants season. Alex, what is the vibe, what is the buzz amongst the Giants clubhouse and just in Giants circles about Webb getting that national recognition and being called the Game 1, Day 1 starter for Team USA?
Yeah, I think they're excited to see him, and certainly, I mean, he's worthy of being in that spot. The one thing I would just caution is, and this is absolutely no knock on Logan, I think he's massively underrated nationally. But it's kind of a weird tournament because guys are like also on. They're trying to stay on 5 days and trying to be ready for the regular season. So there's a little bit of like Nolan McLean will start the championship game for Team USA if they get there. So it's not necessarily a hierarchy, but I think he's one of the best pitchers in the world and doesn't get enough credit. And it's going to be his first must-win game if they reach the quarterfinals since 2021. So it's going to be cool to see him back on that stage.
Yeah, what he's referring to, Skeen, Skubal are also both, and those are two elite pitchers. Both of them are going to be on like a pitch count warning as well. So, but Logan's still there, so we can talk him up and hype our boy up, especially because he's from Rockland.
Yeah, definitely.
Alex, when it comes to this year's World Baseball Classic, we've had this conversation on. We wish at times the MLB in general was marketed a little better, right? And with this coming off the U.S. men's hockey team winning gold, like it's a prime time for U.S. to keep that momentum going and baseball to continue to grow. With this roster this year in particular, because you're around it right now, how good of a chance does Team USA have when you've got some really good teams, i.e. the DR?
I think last I checked, they're like the heavy betting favorites. So I think they're in pretty good shape. I know what I just said about McLean, like he's pitching a championship, but he's also really good. So I think they're in good shape. They're the betting favorites right now. The weird thing about this tournament is there's basically 3 teams that can win probably, and it's the United States, Japan, and the Dominican Republic. And part of it is just who do you have lined up for the end? I mean, as good as the Americans feel about their squad, I bet they'll be a little bit wary if like they end up facing Yamamoto in the championship game. I don't know if he's set up for that, but that's a big part of this tournament. And then also baseball is just a weird game where Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper and Bobby Witt could have a bad night at the wrong time. So I think they're favored for a reason. The lineup when we saw it the other day was pretty nasty, and you see some of the relievers they have, and certainly Skubal and Skeens and Logan should very easily get them, I think, to the semis or to the championship game. But at that last 9 innings, as we saw 3 years ago, it's pretty unpredictable.
Alex Pavlovich covers the San Francisco Giants for NBC Sports Bay Area, and he joins us right now. Alex, as you know, spring training is so unique. It's a very interesting, different type of preseason where different guys, depending upon where you're at in the roster or in the depth chart, or if you're just cracking your way into the league and want to kind of showcase yourself, if you're going to be spending time in the minors, everybody has different motivations and a different level of importance as to why the month of spring training matters. But how much weight do you put into a game like that exhibition with Team USA? You're going up against the best of the best, or some of the best in the United States. It's not just an opportunity for those guys, Team USA, to showcase that they're the powerhouse coming into this tournament, but it was also an opportunity for the Giants to show what they have. And how do you feel the Giants took advantage of that opportunity?
I think just about zero, to be fully honest. Like their cleanup hitter was a guy who's had a nice camp, Victor Barracoto, but he has 10 games in AAA. So, they put some guys out there that they could. They're also missing a bunch of guys. Their entire outfield is at the WBC. Yep. Rafi Devers is hurt. Logan's at the WBC. So, yeah, it was really fun. It was an awesome day being out there, but I think just about everybody, it was just a chance to have some fun. I don't know that we take too much stock in anything that actually happened.
When it comes to the new hire, Alex, I covered Tony Vitello when he was down with Tennessee. And so when this hire was made, I was like, whoa, okay, this is interesting, but I get it. What was your guys' initial reaction to the hire, and just what have you taken from the few weeks, the month that you guys have really been able to talk to him?
I actually wasn't that surprised. I mean, his name was out there a little bit at the end of the season and in early October, and you start thinking about Buster and his he likes taking big swings, and this is a big swing, and it's something that hasn't been done before, and I think Buster just felt like this was a chance to really, really find a different way to get back where he wants to get. And it's going to be interesting. I don't think I've been saying this for a few months now. I think, everything I know is very polarizing now on everything. Like, you have to take a side. I just don't think anybody knows. Like, I think Tony he's obviously one of the best recruiters in the country. He's an excellent college coach. We just don't know how this is going to go. I mean, it hasn't been done before, and people who are saying it's going to fail, I think you have to wait, and people who are over the moon, I think you have to wait as well. So, early on, I will tell you, I don't think he's battery drains at all. He's a tireless worker. He connects with players. I think he's done a pretty nice job at most of what has been asked of him. But ultimately, this is going to be like, in June and July, we're going to be like, is he making the right pitching moves late in games? And does his motivational tactics, the things he was able to do at Tennessee, does that work over 6 months for a big league team? And when you don't score more than 2 runs at home for 2 weeks like they did last year or whatever it ended up being, how does he handle that? So I just don't think we know, but I do think in spring training is certainly a little bit more energy than we've seen here in a few years, and certainly somebody who gets along very well with his clubhouse.
Well, he brings a lot of curiosity around the San Francisco Giants as a ball club, but in terms of predictions for the Giants and how they're going to fare on the field, of course, they share a division with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the San Diego Padres as well, so take that for what it's worth. But so many people are just labeling this team as like smack dab in the middle, 500, right? That's San Francisco Giants baseball always seems to be associated with. They're never really bad, but they're not quite great or not in that territory. But in your mind, Alex, what is the blueprint for reaching that level of success? What is the blueprint for making it as competitive as possible and difficult as possible for the Dodgers to win the NL West with San Francisco?
Well, I say this as somebody who covered the 2021 season and wrote a book that had multiple chapters about it. I don't think that's like a logical goal. I think you almost have to put the Dodgers to the side and be like, how do you beat the Padres and the Diamondbacks, and how do you win enough games that you're, better than whoever is third place in the National League East, and that you're better than maybe the Phillies or the Braves or whatever it ends up being, and get into the wild card and have Logan go in game one. I think that's probably realistic. There's 2 things for me. I mean, one, they were really healthy last year, and they had some good luck, and it's been a pretty healthy camp for the most part. I mean, there's some minor things here and there. They're going to need that. I mean, that there's just not – I don't think there's quite enough here, especially in the rotation, to really have a big blow if that ends up being the case. If somebody goes down, a key player goes down, or 2 key players go down for a long stretch. And then the other thing is, I mean, that the clear weakness of this roster is the bullpen. And I don't know that anything I've seen in the last 3 weeks makes me feel that much better about that group. And there's some good young arms, and maybe a couple of them emerge, and maybe a Blade Tidwell or a Trevor McDonald become your 7th and 8th inning guys over time, and maybe Ryan Walker gets back to who he was. But it's a serious question mark right now, and I can't tell you. I mean, I do this for a living. I can't tell you what I would do on opening day if Logan Webb goes 6 innings and hands the lead over against the New York Yankees, like what I would do for the next 3 innings other than Ryan Walker. So it's a real question. It's something they're going to have to answer. And I do think, going back to your Tony question, like, it's going to be his biggest test is, can he close out wins? Because that is also the thing that most often reflects on a manager is losing close games.
Alex, you had mentioned just, what you've been seeing and you're there every day, kind of witnessing what's happening. Is there anything that has stood out to you, maybe one of these younger prospects in the last 3 weeks, and you like the direction it's going in or they're going in?
Yeah, I like the way Bryce Eldridge looks. Yeah. I think he's come a long way defensively. I don't know if he'll make the opening day roster. I think that's still up in the air, but he's hitting the ball harder than anybody on this team can, except for Devers, and I just think he looks much better at first. And there a couple of the guys I mentioned, Tidwell, aside from when he had to face Team USA, has looked really comfortable and kind of looks like somebody who could throw in the bullpen right now and would be fine. And I think Trevor McDonald has looked really good. So there's a few young guys I think that stand out, and that's exciting. And then the other thing is it's probably not written about and talked about enough that Rafi Devers showed up in June, and he was kind of banged up, and the season went in the tank a few weeks later, and they end up becoming sellers at the trade deadline. But he's looked really good before his hamstring flared up a little bit, and pretty clearly should be their best player. So a full season of that will be a huge difference.
We're talking to Alex Pavlovich of NBC Sports Bay Area covering the San Francisco Giants. You can also read his book, San Francisco Giants, A Curated History of the Orange and Black. I'm looking at the cover of the book right now, Alex. Whoever took that photo of the ball floating in the bay right outside McCovey Cove, right outside the stadium. It's a phenomenal shot. But you brought up Rafael Devers. That was the big swing, the first big swing for Buster Posey last year, acquiring Devers, then the big swing of the addition of Tony Vitello or hiring Tony Vitello. How much is the weight of expectation, though, on the shoulders of Devers to really be that power bat that San Francisco has been lacking and looking for so long?
Well, he came from Boston, so I don't know that he'll feel any weight at all in the Bay Area. So I think this is just a perfect spot for him, honestly. Like he seems happy. He has, guys that he has known for a while around him. A lot of Latin American ball players on the roster, especially on the infield. And I just also think one thing we heard last year was like some stuff out of Boston of like, yeah, maybe he's not a leader, like a vocal leader. Maybe he's not. He doesn't love doing like the post-game interviews and the walk-off interviews afterwards on the field and things like that. And just basically immediately I was like, well, it doesn't matter here because Willie's going to do all of that. So I think it's just a really nice spot for him because he can just go out there and hit and play first base. And he has quietly been a leader behind the scenes and spoke up in some team meetings and all that. But in terms of kind of the face of the franchise stuff that some guys just aren't fully comfortable with, Logan's really good at that stuff. Willie Adames is extremely good at that stuff. Matt Chapman is comfortable doing it. So I think this is just a good spot for him to just play baseball. And I really expect a huge year from him. I mean, watching him take batting practice, it's pretty unlike most of what I've seen in 15 years doing this.
How, in terms of the injury concerns, though, any reason to be overly concerned, or he's just little banged up, he's fine?
No, I mean, let's say March 5th. Usually, unless it's like March 20th, I don't worry about almost anything that happens in spring training. I mean, the guy feels a little hamstring. One sneaky thing out here is just how hot it is and how quickly you get dehydrated. Yeah. And, like, there's no reason for someone like that who feels anything in his hamstring to push it. So I think he'll be totally fine.
Well, selfishly, I have to ask one question too, Alex. I grew up a diehard Oakland A's fan and love me some Matt Chapman for obvious reasons with the platinum glove and the golden gloves that he won there at third base. Love seeing him in San Francisco. I always have high expectations for him. I know how good he can be, not just defensively, but in the batter's box when he's on. What are the expectations for Chappie at third, and how much of the Giants leaning on him to really emerge for them this season, or continue to be the steady veteran presence that he's been?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, I haven't talked to him about this, but I'd imagine he's pretty anxious to get his gold glove back. And just, it was really, again, maybe like something we didn't quite realize at the time, but the impact of him getting hurt last year and trying to play through it and coming back when he shouldn't have. And, he's getting cortisone shots the entire second half. He's such an important player for him. And I said Rafi's like pretty clearly their best hitter, but Chapman just all around what he does, and even the way he can run the bases a little bit, and the defense obviously, and everything he brings to them is important. And I don't think it was a coincidence at all that you see him struggle after he got hurt. And I think the other nice thing for him is like he's fully healthy and he gets to come in here, and there's this team with Devers and Adames and some other pieces here. I think Elliot Ramos looks great, and there's just a little bit less pressure for him than maybe there was a year ago at this time, or when he first came to San Francisco, to kind of be the guy in the heart of the lineup. I don't know if you're trying to get exactly where you want to get. He's a really, really, really good player. You're probably better served with him being like your third best hitter, and I think that's the case now, and I think that's a nice sweet spot for him.
I'm going to sneak one more in really quick, Alex, before we let you go. You've been so great and generous with your time. Jung-Hoo Lee, we know how much of a fan favorite he is there, and he's been battling a mix of injuries and maybe a down year last season, but I know the expectations are still high for him there in San Francisco. What have you seen from him so far in the spring, and what should the expectations be for Jung-Hoo Lee in center field?
I just think he learned a lesson last year about getting through 162 games, and unfortunately the year before he didn't get to really experience that, and he was down probably 11, 12 pounds by the end of the year, and he's a skinny guy anyway, so a lesson learned for him. I mean, he told us he likes to sleep in and learn that maybe those night games he has to wake up early and have a big breakfast and then go back to sleep and just find some ways to manage his body a little bit better over the course of 162 games. Because one thing we did see last year was Bob Melvin started being pretty proactive about giving him some days off and giving him some chances to rest. And we did see he usually looks better after that. So, again, I'll just kind of go back to, the pressure thing. It's nice for somebody like Jung-Hoo Lee when Luis Arias might be the leadoff hitter. I know Jung-Hoo wants to do it, but there's not really a lot of pressure on him at the start of the year. I think other guys will shoulder a lot of that, and he still has a ton of talent, and they moved him to right field as well, where the defensive issues shouldn't really be a problem for him. So another guy who, is maybe a little bit under the radar, and maybe, again, like some of these guys were miscast originally as come and be the savior, where it needed to be more of an ensemble, and they did need those guys in the middle, the Willie Adames and the Rafi Devers to carry the way. So I think Jung-Hoo, like Chapman, is in a pretty nice spot.
We've almost made it, Alex. Giants baseball, MLB baseball is almost here, so enjoy opening day and all the festivities as it gets closer, and we hope to chat with you at some point during this season, but we appreciate you making the time, my friend. Have a good one.
Yeah, of course. Alex. All right, have a good one.
The great Alex Pavlovich from NBC Sports Bay Area does a phenomenal job covering the Niners. That entire crew over there does a great job. Did I say Niners? Giants.
Giants,
does a great job covering the Giants over there. I'm a little distracted right now because while we're talking about the Giants, I'm getting these updates of what the A's are doing right now. I'm talking back-to-back jacks.
Oh, so your team's having success while mine is floundering.
Yeah, well, your team's getting destroyed by the San Diego Padres, but Kyle, your team's spending all of their runs already in spring training. You might want to tell them to calm down. But the A's are doing the same thing. Tyler Soderstrom hit a grand slam, followed up by Brent Rooker solo shot.
There we go. So the bats are not lying here.
This is what the A's have to do.
Exactly.
They just hit home runs, and if they don't score, they ain't going to win. So keep it going, boys. Don't slow down.
That's good stuff. No, he's great. By the way, first time for me talking to Alex. Obviously, he spent the last 3 weeks here in spring training. He's down there and covering those Giants closely. And I thought it was interesting, and it's true when asking about Tony Vitello and them kind of rolling the dice on him. It's just hard right now to know until you're in the moment and you're seeing a team have to, go this way or go that way, or how they build off their success or how they build off of a downtime. Because we all know there's those swings in baseball when they can go through droughts. Does that work with Tony in the way that he manages? It's going to be a thrilling season just for that fact than anything.
It's funny. The Giants have been known over the years for having that 1 month where they're just red hot.
Yep.
They're known for that month. So can you hit that month while you're already at 500? Not that you need that month to just creep above 500, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference for me with this Giants team. As for the A's had 1 month where everything completely fell apart. That was the month of May.
And then they played really well to end the season.
They played phenomenal.
We're above 500.
Yeah.
Hey, get rid of May. The A's are a playoff
Exactly. Yeah, just take away our birthday month.
Take away our birthday month.
And they're good to go.
Something Alex said there, and I totally understand what he's saying, but he's almost like, don't even talk about the Giants. Don't even talk about the Dodgers.
Sure.
They're not even a goal.
I know.
Focus on beating San Diego and beating Arizona, and let the Dodgers just do what they're doing. On one hand, I'm like, that speaks to just how ridiculously talented and unfair the Dodgers are. But we didn't get to talk to him about it necessarily, but what I've always thought about is the one area where I could see the Giants impacting the Dodgers is if they embrace the Tony Vitello kind of attitude and start beating them mentally. Like
No.
you're not gonna win most series against the Dodgers. We know this. If you can go 500 against the Dodgers this year, you're probably a really, really, really good team and in really good shape.
Well, the Giants know a thing or two about going 500.
Well, exactly. They know about going 500, period. But if you go 500 against the Dodgers, that should mean you're a good enough baseball team to be above 500 everywhere else. But can you get in their heads a little bit?
Yeah, no, and I think we're going to find that out, longer term in terms of what this could be in terms of like owning the Dodgers or at least getting back to, winning games against them. Like Tony is a part of the puzzle. What the biggest thing I think, and Alex mentioned this year, is just the bullpen. And we all know how big the bullpen can be, especially when it comes to when you get to the playoffs. And what's crazy about the Dodgers last year, guys, is the Dodgers were struggling at some point.
Yes.
And a big part of that was because of their bullpen.
Right.
And so can they figure out ways, in terms of the Giants, if that's their weakness, to kind of hide that a little? But you can't hide it forever. There's got to be some sort of improvement.
Just bite at their heels the whole
I know,
game.
just be a chihuahua.
Be that little rat that's just nibbling at the entire.
That's a chihuahua.
Yeah.
There it is.
Be that.
There
Be
you go.
that for the Dodgers the entire season. Question from Scooter here for you. Says, Kayla, since you've seen him, what type of coach is Tony Vitello? Is he offensive-minded? Is he a pitcher's coach, managing the staff well? Or what is he?
Honestly, what I loved about Tony is he kind of had it all. And that's why he was able to bring instant success to Tennessee, because he knows the game so well.
Right, but to expect him to have it all in the MLB right away, that's a lot.
It's a lot, and that's why I said we have to give it a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why they took a risk on him. He just he understands the game. Like when he was at Tennessee, he brought in the bats. Like that was primarily, if I'm going to pick one thing, like offensively, he knows how to put a lineup together, right? Yeah. But pitching-wise, that's what they improved with over time with Tony, and why they won a College World Series is because they built their pitching lineup as well. And he went and got those guys and brought them into Tennessee, and the closers. So he was able to really bring everything to the table, hence why he had so much success. But look, Tennessee was known for their bats. I'm not going to lie. Most so to the point that sometimes there was the Vandy fans saying, because I'm a Vandy person, saying, well, what are they putting, corks in the bats? Like, what's going on? That wasn't ever a thing, but it was an inside joke.
Hey, if Tony Vitello can get the Giants to hit a lot of home runs in that ballpark, I will accuse him of doing something, because they've never been able to do that. But it would be fun. Is it as simple as a very successful season for Tony Vitello is just if this team is a wild card team?
I think so.
If Tony in his first year gets the Giants to be a wild card team, considering the division they play in and who's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't feel phenomenal about Tony and the Giants where they're at. Now, of course, they need to spend more money and build upon that if they actually truly want to be competitive. But if Tony can do that in his first year, I think that's a home run, for Buster Posey.
No, it is, and that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to get the Giants back to the relevance of what they have been in the past. And not saying they're not relevant. We know the Giants are a brand, but back to the baseball that they played in, the championships and stuff like that. What I'm hoping and praying for, and I don't think any baseball fan wants this, we cannot have this momentum broken up by a lockout. And that's what's going to be hard, is if this momentum starts to build this year with the team and then we see a lockout happen.
It's coming.
I don't like it.
I don't know how we're avoiding it. I think it's the writing is on the wall in permanent ink or paint. Let's just say that. We will take the break. When we come back, switching gears to the preview of tonight's Kings versus Pelicans game. We'll talk about the injury report, the point spread, what we're hoping to see from this game, other than just a loss, I guess. Yeah. And then we'll have crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles, the Drive guys, before they take over the show. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7.
Listen to your Sacramento Kings
on the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe Show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Residents in Cal Expo and Gornick Academy. More info at CITPFest.com.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Kings basketball tonight.
Oh no, that sounded weak.
Yay.
Oh, go Kings.
Here we go again.
The tank bowl.
19 more. Well, it really isn't. Because
the Pelicans don't care.
The Pelicans don't care. They're just bad. But they're better than the Kings.
I was going to say, they're better. And Zion's back,
Listen.
so at least they have that.
Listen. Pelicans, listen. Hey, I know you're listening. You kicked the Kings' ass for like 3 straight years. Now the Kings need to lose to you.
Yeah.
Can you keep doing it now that we want it, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
there. I hope someone got the message that's in town today.
Zion is now locked in.
Zion
heard
locked in.
that.
By the way, did you see the interview with Malika Andrews when he sat down for the first time? I think it was this earlier this week or last week late.
Was it good?
Yeah, like I am not the biggest Zion fan. He's not been able to stay healthy, but I kind of like listening to that interview. He spoke about when he had to have surgery and the doctor was pretty much telling him at the time while he's getting all this hate and all this stuff online of like you're a bust, all this stuff, that like he might never play again. And all he was thinking is like, I got to do whatever it takes to get back.
Yeah.
And he's just listening and watching all this stuff. And for the first time, I kind of was like, damn, I kind of feel bad for the guy.
Sure.
You know, because he was just like, I love the game and I wanted to get back to the game. But I was being told by my doctors that I might not ever play again because of my foot. It was a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
So
I got to check that out.
Yeah, it was on NBA Live.
Man, when Zion plays,
NBA
though.
Today. Was it NBA Today?
Yeah, NBA Today. When Zion plays, though, he's nuts.
I know.
He's so good.
That's why he was supposed to be a generational talent.
He's a monster. Now, I would not be interested in trading for him in the case of the Sacramento Kings or anything like that necessarily. But I do think there will be a team or two out there that will line up to trade for him as long as the price is right and you put Zion in a situation outside of New Orleans. Maybe it gets better. I've always been a Zion fan. I think Zion has been labeled as something that he was labeled damn near LeBron James coming into the league. Like I remember not being able to get away from this dude's high school tape. And then same thing at Duke, right? And his numbers at Duke were really, really good. Not as good as Cam Boozer's, but his numbers at Duke were really, really good. And he comes into the league and battles what he's been battling, and including the weight of expectations. And here he is. By the way, he's questionable for tonight's game.
Oh, he is? Okay. I was actually interested in
Zion questionable with an ankle injury. Please play Zion. Please. We need something to watch.
Yeah, they can win without him.
No, they can, but I still want to watch something good. Please.
What, you don't want to watch Eve Misi?
No.
Short answer, nah.
Short answer, no.
You don't want to see... Look, the Pelicans jerseys are ugly, but... I'm sorry, but...
They?
Yeah.
They're pretty ugly, dude.
Like the blue ones?
Not on my top list.
No?
But I will say, Zero Fears is like the coolest jersey out there right now in the NBA. Because Jeremiah Fears plays for the Pelicans, and his jersey is Zero Fear. It's so cool.
See where you're going there.
Trey Murphy, also questionable with back spasms. Hopefully he plays as well.
Yep.
He's a monster for the King or against the Kings. He's one of those guys that he's the perfect archetype of player that's just like the Kings have no answer for you. The Kings have nothing. Like, literally nothing, especially with Keegan Murray not playing in this game. DeJounte Murray, as we know, he's been out with his Achilles injury. Same cast of characters for the Kings. No Domas, no Zach, no DeAndre, no Keegan, no Dylan Cardwell. Isaiah Stevens is out. I really would have loved to see Zion versus Dylan Cardwell. I would have loved to see.
Sure, I would have too.
Who the hell are the Kings Precious, good luck. If Zion plays tonight, Precious, hold your own, pal.
And Precious has been on such a good little run here.
Well, Precious, he's not afraid to fight back.
No, he's not. But
Precious will push and shove. But
the other guy is likely going to dominate.
Yeah.
See, Zion's going to come charging down the lane, and Westbrook's going to be like, take the charge.
Geez.
Good for Russ. Russ is built different like that. Hey, Zion, respectfully, stay away from Max's legs, please. If you're going to fall down.
Well, that's what I'm worried about.
Fall down away from Max.
Right?
Like,
We don't need that type of injury.
This is going to be, I know we talked about at the beginning of the show how interesting of a matchup this is for Neek. But this is going to be a really interesting matchup for Max, too, because assuming, again, Zion plays and Trey Murphy plays, like that's a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, a lot of physicality. This is a big team. This is a big team. Someone on the text line I was actually going back and forth with is like, well, is it a crazy idea in the future to have Keegan Murray play the 2?
Okay.
The Kings have never had enough size to play Keegan Murray
even
at the
do
2,
that,
period.
yeah.
So it's been crazy to this point. But the New Orleans Pelicans are a team that they just essentially just have a lineup of forwards. They're just all tall, big, athletic players. And again, I know their record isn't good, but I think they're a far better team than their record indicates. And I don't think the Sacramento Kings would mind having the positional size to be able to play Keegan at the 2. We know Keegan can space the floor. He's supposed to. And we know Keegan can defend guards. So Keegan's absolutely capable of playing the 2. It's just you don't have enough guys. Now you add AJ DeBonson and bring DeAndre Hunter back, and hey, maybe there might be something there. Or a Caleb Wilson.
We talked about Caleb with who was the caller again? Space my mind, but
who was it? TC?
Oh, TC. It was TC. Yeah.
Regardless, like they're like the Pelicans are proof that if you have athleticism in the modern NBA and you have size and they can play multiple positions, you absolutely can run big lineups like that. The Kings never in a million years would be able to do so, though, and they don't have anybody to counteract that tonight.
Yeah.
Again, so Max might be in for a night where the finesse that he plays with around the rim might not work too well tonight, assuming the Pelicans play against Zion and Trey Murphy play. But we'll see.
And that's, again, why, these young guys right now, we can't, put them in an overly, like oh, my goodness, they're this is a start. That's why we're not saying yet, hey, Max is going to be that starting center. Or because there's going to be nights like this, too, where we're just not going to learn much about it. Like, he's going to take a little step back because of the matchup. But in the future, it's like, how does that then fare if you are going to be that guy?
Let's play a riveting game of guess the point spread.
Oh, no.
How badly do we think Vegas expects the Sacramento Kings to lose tonight?
Well, they're at home.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay.
I have no idea, so we'll play this together.
They were 10.5 underdogs against the Suns.
9.5, unless it changed.
Sorry, 9.5. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
9.5.
Right.
So and we all know the Suns are a better team.
Right. So I'd expect it to be better than that.
Right.
Closer than that.
I'm gonna go with 6.
6. Okay. I'll go like 5.5.
Okay. That was my other one.
And if it is that, then I'm slamming the over. I'm taking the Pelicans easily. If it's all right, let's see. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Pelicans are 5.5.
Oh, okay. There you
by
go.
5.5 points. There you go. I don't think it's going to be that close. I think the Kings, again, they got rinsed by the Pelicans in New Orleans. Granted, that was right before the All-Star break, and we know the Kings were in the midst of a horrible losing streak and checked out big time by that point, desperate to get out of there and get onto a beach. They lost 120-94 in that game. Hey, make it more competitive than that, please. Make it a competitive game. Max plays well. Neek plays well. Find a way to lose.
A quarter or two? Because that's what I feel like it's going to be.
What do you mean?
Like they're going to play well for like a quarter.
Well, yeah, the Kings have a tendency to have a quarter where everything falls apart. Last game it was the second quarter.
We should play a new game. Guess the quarter.
Oh,
Guess the quarter. The Doom quarter.
The Doom quarter. Ooh, okay. So we each get a quarter.
Yeah.
Kyle's talking to Whitey, so Kyle doesn't play. It's between the two of us.
All right. Because it was kind of that second quarter versus Phoenix, if you think about it.
In both of those, it was. Yeah,
right?
because the Suns got off to a 19-2 run, I think, in that second quarter, and the game fell apart. The game in New Orleans and in Utah, those are the last two games before. I think I'm mixing the games up. Was it it might have been the Utah game where the game was over in the first quarter. Like the game started so poorly, it was just over and done with.
I know, I can't even remember what it was. They're all blending together now.
I suppose I could. Let me look at the first quarter score. I'm going to take the Kings are always bad offensively in the fourth quarter, but I think the game will be out of hand by then, so it'll be garbage time. So New Orleans outscored the Kings 31-26 in the first quarter. The second quarter, they outscored the Kings 30-20, and 31-21 in the third quarter. So it always seems to be those middle quarters. Which one is it going to be? Is it going to be after halftime or before halftime?
I'm going to say I'm going with third. Something in my gut's telling me the threads will unravel in the third.
All right, I'll say we're developing a pattern. First quarter will be competitive again, and then second quarter the wheels will fall off. But we'll see. You can play along with us. Guess the horrific quarter for the Sacramento Kings. And for some reason, all season long, this team has been dreadful at scoring in the fourth quarter, which I will never fully understand. But again, tonight's game doesn't have this most significant of tankathon impact or tankathon standings because the New Orleans Pelicans will not have their pick. It goes to Atlanta. I guarantee you Hawks fans are going to be watching this game closely. But the Kings do have to keep an eye on Washington and Utah play tonight. Washington is 3 games back of the Kings. Utah is 4.5 games back. So go Jazz. No, sorry, go Wizards.
Go Wizards, yeah.
Boo Jazz, go Wizards. And the Brooklyn Nets take on the Miami Heat tonight. It's their second straight game in Miami, and last time they lost by like 30 points or something like that. So they're going to lose.
Yeah.
So Kings, in all reality, hey, if you're going to the game tonight, cheer on a win, have fun however you need to have fun. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't turn off the
That's
radio.
what I was going to say.
Plug your
Everybody
ears.
has different reasons, and
have
some
a good
people
time.
wanna win.
I hope you have a blast.
Absolutely.
The rest of us, we want the Kings to lose tonight. We do.
Boom.
We want the Kings to lose. Coming up next, the Drive Guys. We got Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles joining us in studio before they take over. They'll bring us all the way up to game night with Scott March and Henry Turner. We talk to the Drive Guys next.
Tonight, Kings and Pelicans. Tip off at 7.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball
is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
I grew up in the purple glow, Arco Thunder in my bones, back when 2000.
Bringing this back, huh?
I don't know what this is.
It's the AI version of the Kings.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
A listener made this with the AI software platform to create music with.
Yep. Did you guys put that on
Whitey
your
Gleason
show
and I
first,
make our own music.
no?
We don't need AI.
Yeah, but this one's really good.
Yeah, they emailed it to Carmichael Dave.
Yeah.
And then he played it.
I want to just put a lighter up.
Yeah,
No.
it was hidden different like 2 months ago. Now I feel nothing.
Now it's just sad.
Actually, more like 3 months ago, whenever that
That was
was.
so long ago.
Yeah, it's not hidden anymore. It might hit next season.
This is giving off church vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mega church.
This is giving off
A big one.
There's a guy on a tight wire that's flying across. The pastor's flying across the.
Jeez.
It's like the beam. There's just giant purple smoke in the sky.
Hey, man.
Hey. It's almost Easter.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you.
Yes.
Yesterday we had a conversation about Father's Day, golfing on
Okay.
Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what?
I learned something that crushed my dreams today.
What is that?
The NBA draft lottery is on Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh.
Mother's Day Sunday is the NBA draft lottery.
You know what's gonna happen.
Really? I thought it was on a.
No, Mother's Day
So
Sunday.
we're not
May 10th.
having a party.
No.
Well, we still can.
Yeah,
It's on a Sunday?
Yes, Sunday, May 10th. Apparently, I looked it up to make sure.
I know for a fact last season it was not because I
Probably an
came home
NBC
from the
thing.
show.
I think it used to be when NBC had it. Maybe.
Yeah, I came home from the show and I watched it, so I
Right.
thought it would
It
just
was-
be on a weekday again.
Right, you would think so. Not on the day where I'm going to get in trouble for having to watch and do a podcast about damn
That's
ping pong balls.
crazy.
And then what if it's a bat? Like, what if they get
That's
screwed,
terrible.
And then Matt and you guys are in a bad mood.
Why would they do that?
The Kings better get the number 1 overall pick because you and I are going to be in the doghouse.
I cannot believe that.
We're going to be in the doghouse because, sorry, babe, I have to.
How about
I have.
Whitey?
Are we sure though? Because the draft, they haven't decided that date yet for the NBA
They
draft.
literally have. It's Wednesday the 24th and
The draft?
Thursday the 25th of June.
No. Keep checking. It's
Also,
TBD.
Alan, I
check it
texted
out. No.
this to you.
On NBA.com, it's TBD. The draft.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Then how did we?
NBA.com 2026 NBA
Yeah.
Draft Lottery May 10th.
Okay, keep scrolling to the draft date.
Oh, well, I don't care about that yet.
But there is. They don't have the draft date.
That is correct.
See?
Right.
Oh wait, no, it's past.
See?
Nope.
They don't have the draft date, so
Okay.
maybe
They have the finals.
They
game
changed their
7,
mind?
Game 7 of the finals is the 19th, and then Summer League begins July.
No,
9th.
I guess you are correct. It's not announced.
Yeah,
but
I
the
know I'm
draft
correct.
lottery is May 10th. I know
Mother's
this
Day.
because I texted that to you a week ago, Alan.
That's insane by the NBA, by the way.
this is the type of stuff that just
Like,
grinds my
stay in
gears.
your lane, all right? That's
Hey,
Mom's
that's-
Day.
They're
I
taking
believe that's
over
what they
Mom's
used to
Day.
do.
Well, what
On
they used
Mother's
to do was
Yeah,
stupid.
I think they did.
Bad.
No, the reason they're
And
doing
I'm not
it.
even a mom.
The reason they're doing it
You're
is
done,
it
Mom.
has to align with the combine because everyone's in Chicago. So the combine is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, moms don't care about the combine.
No, they don't.
I'm going to be in trouble for having to watch that.
How am I supposed to enjoy my eggs Benny?
Damn you, Adam Silver. Don't tell me I can watch clips on YouTube.
That's what he's worried about. His eggs Benny.
How am I supposed to enjoy my eggs Benny when the Kings get fifth?
Well, it's not going to be at 10 a.m.
But I'm thinking about it.
You're not going to. I can't enjoy brunch, babe.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. He's going to be nervous. Like, he's going to have
This is
that
ridiculous. This is the worst
anxiety.
news I've ever heard.
Right?
I know. I thought of you guys.
I was crushed, and I have to. No, I'm already preparing the conversation that I have to have with the wife this afternoon. Hey, babe, I found out today the draft lottery's on Mother's Day, and I have to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, don't file for divorce.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
You could just like not do that.
You just hear. I got an
I could
idea.
not, what? Tell her?
I got an
No,
idea.
not do
worse.
the podcast.
I got an idea. I got you.
Not do my job?
You have to do 5 because if the Kings end where they're at right now with the worst record, you pre-record 5. One if they get 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, and then you just pop it out.
Different. So I have to
That's right.
record 5 different 30-minute episodes
Yeah.
in
Yes.
each octave.
Yeah.
Is it easier to start high and go low?
I would start with 5.
Start low.
I would start with 5.
And build the energy up.
That's right. So you do that, and then she'd say, "Wow, I can't believe you did that for me on Mother's Day. Please go golfing on Father's Day." That's what she'll say.
But
I think another thing that's great is, pardon me.
No,
excuse me.
you're fine.
I think now you could have combination Mother's Day NBA lottery cards. Like, we love you, Mother, and this is no jive, but F it, the Kings just got pick number 5. You know,
There you
could
go.
do a
There you
whole
go.
thing like that.
But that's what I'm worried about. If the Kings get 5 with Matt specifically,
I'm
with
cooked.
Matt specifically,
I'm
he's
cooked.
going to be awful to his wife.
Whoa, hold on, whoa.
No, he's gonna be in his bedroom with the sheets over his head,
Playing that
and he's
song,
gonna be
playing that
crying,
song.
and we
Yeah.
light the beam.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Hey, baby, you're our number one mother. Number
What do you got?
one
Another?
pick
You
as
got
a
one
mother.
for if they get number 1.
I'm just gonna watch AJ DeBonsa highlights and just sob.
Yeah. No, you'll be watching Kingston Flemings, who I did watch last night, Whitey, so I can't wait to talk to you about that one.
Yeah, Kayla's
A boo.
Kayla's knocking Kingston Flemings out of the top point guard spot and replacing him with
Yeah.
With-
A cuff,
They're all, I mean,
let's go.
Look, close your eyes and pick one and pray you pick the right one.
That's my
That's
guy.
how I feel about them. But I did like what I saw from Kingston yesterday.
You know what stinks about the draft is, it's kind of what happens in fantasy football where no one knows what's going to happen. But if somebody's team beats your team, they're like, yeah. And now people have their guys in the draft.
Right.
And maybe we've seen them like twice.
Mhm.
Yep.
But they're like, no, my guy's way better than your
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen them play? But everybody is an expert.
Yeah. Let's
go.
And has something at stake and their guy going higher.
Right. Well, the thing about last night is this class is so ridiculous. Acuff went crazy in a loss, and you had Kingston. He had less points in a win, but it's whatever's clever.
Acuff, they won.
I thought they lost.
Arkansas won.
I'm pretty sure they lost last night. I thought they lost last night. We got to double check.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Or they beat a bad team. It was one of the two.
They beat Texas.
It was one of the two. I thought they lost.
They destroyed Texas.
They destroyed Texas, and then
105-85.
Sean Miller
Last
talked
night.
about Acuff.
Okay, that's what it was.
So that's
okay,
probably, it was
okay.
like a,
It was a blowout.
Yes.
Okay, they're not good. In Texas, that's football. They got Arch Manning. So what are we doing with that? But honestly, watching Kingston, he yammed it last night. I didn't think he could get up like that. But I don't know. All these point guards under 6'5" are not going to be stars.
So the last game Arkansas played before before Texas, they lost 111-77 to the Florida Gators.
That's the one I was
and
thinking.
Florida could win it all again this year.
Are you saying a point guard can't be any good if they're not 6'5"?
I'm saying that the fact that we're talking about 5 point guards outside of Keaton Wagler,
apparently, yeah, that's what.
Outside of Keaton Wagler, they're all under 6'4" and smaller. And so, okay, eliminate him. That still leaves my guy Filan, that's who I'd take. But Filan, Kingston, Acuff, Michael Brown, those four, and then Wagler is 6'6". Those four, all four of them are not going to be stars.
Because they're 6'3" about.
Acuff looks the smallest, but he also looks the most dynamic most of the time.
This is the most Carmichael Dave thing I've ever done.
Oh, no. Food?
Nope. Calling the wife.
Oh, Lord.
She's going to learn.
He is not doing it.
Hi.
Tell her you're on the air.
No, she knows. She knows. She's on the air. You're with me, Kayla, Allen, and Whitey, and I learned something.
Hello.
As you know, the Kings are dreadful this year, right? Yes. And all of our hopes and prayers are in ping pong balls, the NBA draft lottery, which is a very important day for the future of the Kings and a day that, I have to work a lot, right? Okay. I just found out that day is May 10th, which is a Sunday. That also so happens to be Mother's Day.
Oh, wow. Okay, so why did you call me?
So how am I already in trouble?
I'll forgive you because I'm on air and there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Yeah, I'm getting
Well
cussed
played.
out as soon as the show's over.
Yeah, she goes because I'm playing it
Oh,
smart.
I should ask her if I could play golf.
Too late.
See?
No, not the time. Not the time. Not the time.
She's very savvy because she was an athlete and she knows how to do interviews. Yeah, she knew what to do there.
Not the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have been like, me. I would have been kicking everybody off the air. It would have been a whole violation.
Okay.
of
Oh, this is
SEC.
good. No, this is good for radio. You are telling Kayla that the draft lottery is now on Mother's Day. Go.
I'm telling Kayla.
Because I already did mine. No, how's your conversation
I'm talking
going?
to this Kayla?
Right.
Well, no. Well, you're talking to Kayla in this case is going to be
Right.
your
Oh,
wife.
okay,
But how
okay.
are you doing
Yes.
it?
Okay.
How are you
Yes.
explaining it?
On air like you did?
Well,
Just
I don't know.
normally.
Just normally.
Imagine Kayla is Kayla. Alan.
Okay. Hey, so
Oh, that's right. Your wife's name's Kayla.
yeah. Hey,
it
so
is?
yes.
Whoops.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, so not a big deal, right? But
Oh, it's not a big deal. So the first thing you say is it's not a big deal.
Are you gonna be in character or no?
Yeah, I am right now.
You don't even know
You
what
don't
it
know
is
what I'm
yet.
talking about in character.
But that's part of you.
She
already
just
said
assumes it's wrong.
Yeah.
that. Right. That's because that's how.
This is how Kayla was as a partner?
Sure, yeah.
Not all the time.
So not a big deal. Just wanted to run it by you. Obviously, very important that the Kings get the number one pick or a high pick. Turns out, unfortunately, that's going to be on Mother's Day. So what we're going to do?
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Like Mother's Day.
It is. So don't
like
worry.
where you're supposed to give me attention.
I got you.
The whole entire day.
And I'm going to do that. It's not
And I
on till
want-
4. Okay.
Not till 4.
No, it's not till 4. By that time, you'd be pampered. Your massage will be done. Your brunch will be outstanding.
But you've already been anticipating this the whole day. I know how you get, Alan. You get in your phone. You're doing the agent thing.
I am.
You don't even look up at me and say anything when you get in your Kings vibe.
I'll promise you this. I can compartmentalize because you are my number 1 pick.
Ask her if you can golf. Ask her if you can golf.
I will not.
Oh. Hey, that's not too bad.
Don't worry.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
He handled that well.
And I'm a tough competitor here.
Don't
trying to
worry
be your
about
wife.
it. You know, it's some people got it. Matt, we'll work on it.
Okay.
You just decided to shoot from the hip there.
Because I did it on air because I know she'd be nice. If it's public, she's nice.
That's right. That's right.
I like that she said, I forgive you.
I know.
What did you do?
Yeah. What he's about to do.
Yes.
I'm telling you, five podcasts, each pick.
The question is, what haven't I done?
Smart.
If the Kings drop down, though, and now you got to do 7, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Brittany is also all-time. She's never been to a Kings win, ever.
Are you? Yeah, that's
I think
right.
she's at either 10 or 11 games, 0-11.
That's
Even
wild.
during the Bean Team years.
I think you did tell me that.
Yeah.
That is
It's her fault.
Well, yeah, wait till they get Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansa.
Both of them?
Well, they're going to get AJ and Richie Saunders.
Well, Alan Stiles has thoughts about Kingston Fleming's Whitey Gleason. You're obligated to hear them and share some of your own. It's the Drive Guys coming up next, leading you up until game night. Kayla and I will see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive